cause it's burning hot. It's what you do to me, babe, I can guarantee. Honey, honey, I got what you need. Under the night sky, I want your eyes all on me. Don't tell me lies now, I always get mine. Don't play with me. Do you want it? Can you feel me? No, can you handle it? Right? Do you want it? Don't put your love on hold. I can't take it anymore. Oh, put your love on me now. Trust me and you will see. Oh, honey, honey, I got what you want. Honey, honey, I got what you need. Honey, honey, I got what you want. Honey, honey, I got what you need. Give me your love, no holding back, no. We could take it to the stars where you wanna go. The things that we can do, don't need to prove you know. Honey, honey, I got what you want. Yeah, under the night sky, I want your eyes all on me. Don't tell me no lies, I always get mine. Don't play with me. So do you want it? Do you want it? Can you feel me? Can you feel me now? Can you handle it? Alright. So do you want it? Don't put your love on hold. I can't take it anymore. Oh, put your love on me now. Trust me and you will see. Oh, honey, honey, I got what you want. Honey, honey, I got what you need. Honey, honey, I got what you want. Honey, honey, I got what you need. So don't put your love on hold. Can you feel me? I can't take it anymore. Don't put your love on me. Trust me and you will see. Honey, honey, I got what you want. Give me all of your love, cause it's burning hot. It's what you do to me, babe, I can guarantee.
Alright, a very good morning, Mzanzi. You're watching the Vooka Breakfast Show. It is a beautiful Wednesday morning, and you know that each and every morning we bring you that amazing and vibrant show, your dose of positivity each and every morning. It's just 6 minutes past 7. We are getting straight into it, and you know, every time when you see me, it's a time for picture of our day. We know that we need to explore South Africa, which holds so much rich heritage that we need to explore in each and every corner that it offers. So all you need to do is connect with us on our social media platforms. We are Vooka Breakfast Show on YouTube or Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and also Instagram. Just get hold with us. And also, if you want to get in touch with us by sending us your voice note, the number to do that is 060-493-3226. It's 060-493-3226. So now you've been asking yourself that, okay, you are seeing pictures behind me, and now we're about to get into it. Our picture of the day, as I mentioned when we started, it's Hector Peterson Museum in Orlando West, Soweto, a living memorial to our 1976 youth uprising against apartheid. This museum opened on June 16, 2002, and is dedicated to preserving the memory of the historic Soweto schoolboys protest. It houses oral testimonies, photographs, and documents recounting how students like a 12-year-old Hector Peterson were killed by police on June 16, 1976. Hector's photograph being carried by a fellow pupil became the iconic image of that day, symbolizing Mzansi's struggle and resilience. A fact about the Hector Peterson Museum is that the adjacent memorial honor of Hector and the other 23 children murdered in the Soweto uprising as one of the first museums in Soweto. It educates visitors about apartheid's impact on our youth. It reminds us that Mzansi's heritage includes not only our natural wonders but the stories of courage and sacrifice. I mean, it takes me back when I visited the Hector Peterson Museum, and the last time, I have to tell you, it was a powerful experience. Yeah, it really hits you. I mean, that photo of Hector being carried, it is unforgettable. It is unforgettable because, as I've told you, it is a very, very powerful experience. Right? So it's more than just a museum. It's a reminder of the bravery of our youth and the price they paid for our freedom. Exactly. Everyone should go. It's emotional, but it's so important to understand where we come from. For sure, it's not just history. It's a piece of who we are. So just let me know, man, if you have been to the Hector Peterson Memorial Museum right there at Orlando West, and let me know what were your experience. How did you feel when you went there? Did it bring back, how the youth of 1976 felt? Comment down below by using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. Just can't wait to be in conversation with you, because on today's show we're going to be bringing you more in which we want you to engage with us throughout the show. So don't go anywhere, because I'm coming back again with your news and sports headlines. But all in all, do make sure that you connect with us on our social media platforms. So don't go anywhere, stay there. All right, once again, a very good morning. It's time for your quick morning update with your news and sports headline. Now, starting off with your first headline, missing constables among 5 bodies retrieved from Centurion River. Police have confirmed that the 3 of the 5 bodies recovered from the Henops River belong to missing constables Topical Linda Kiamogetsu and Boipelo Senoge, who disappeared last Thursday while traveling from Free State to Limpopo. A 4th SAPS official, a groundsman from Linton Police Station, was also found along with their car. The 5th body remains unidentified. National Police Commissioner Fani Masemola stated that a thorough investigation will be conducted as authorities continue searching for the Volkswagen Polo the officers were traveling in when they vanished. On your next headline, Transport Minister reports a few crashes and fatalities on the roads during Easter. Transport Minister Barbara Creasy reported a significant decline in Easter road crashes and fatalities compared to previous years. Crashes dropped by 32.5% from 209 in 2024 to 141 in 2025, while fatalities decreased by 45% from 307 to 167. All provinces saw improvements except the Eastern Cape and Mpumalanga, which recorded slight increases. Creasy emphasized concerns over pedestrian safety, noting that nearly half of the fatalities were pedestrians. She announced plans for increased public education to encourage safer practices among both the drivers and pedestrians. On another headline, time to sing a new song, not to kill the Boer, Pastor says. South Africa recently celebrated Freedom Day, 3 decades into democracy, and some people argue there are things we should leave in the past as a nation. One of these things is the song Dubuli Bunu, Kill the Boer, they say. Pastor Bet Pistorius from the South African Community of Faith-Based Fraternals and Federations says while it may not be illegal to sing this song, doing so harms the nation. He says such era songs perpetuate division and hostility in a society where the nation is striving for unity. It is time to move on. While these songs hold a historical significance, their relevance diminishes in the context of a democratic South Africa. Now, that's all for your news headline. Heading over to your sports news, starting off with basketball news. Cavaliers thrash Miami to win playoff series 4-0. The Cavaliers defeated Miami by a record of 55-point margin, with Donovan Mitchell scoring 22 points. Miami coach Eric Spoelstra acknowledged the Cavaliers' dominance. Cleveland advances to face either the Bucks or Pacers. Meanwhile, the Warriors took a 3-1 lead over the Rockets in the Western Conference playoffs, winning 109 to 106. Jimmy Butler scored 27 points, including 14 in the 4th quarter, and Brandon added 26 points despite trailing at halftime. The Warriors rallied with an 18-1 run in the 3rd quarter. Fred missed last-second shot sealed the Rockets defeated. Game 5 is set for 30 April, Wednesday, 7:30 in Houston. Heading over to your football news, Steve Barker says Stellenbosch on verge of a special season. The Cape Winelands team has had a remarkable season, reaching the MTN 8 final earlier this season and CAF Confederation Cup semi-finals in their debut campaign. Coach Barker aims to secure 3rd place in the league and return to continental football, emphasizing the importance of final 5 matches. He highlighted the need to refocus after their emotional loss to Simba. Barker stresses sustained success, retaining players and challenging top teams like Orlando Pirates and Mamelodi Sundowns. With humility and hard work, he hopes to keep progressing while attracting talent and closing the gap on stronger rivals. On the next headline, SuperSport United ready for final fight to avoid the playoffs. SuperSport United, currently 14th in the league with 23 points, faces a challenging battle to stay in the top flight league. Interim coach Arenze stresses for fighting for every point in their final 3 matches against Chippa United, Stellenbosch FC and Richards Bay. He praised Neo Rapo and Vincent Pule for their recent performances, with Rapo joining Amajita for the Under 20 Africa Cup of Nations. Arendse remains optimistic about retaining defender Ime Okon despite transfer interest. Though confident in avoiding relegation, Arendse emphasizes the need for changes to ensure better outcomes next season. National duty is prioritized for players. That's all for now. Stay tuned for more sports and news updates throughout the show. Don't forget to share your thoughts on these headlines with us on social media using hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show and send us your voice note on 060-493-3226. Now, let's get you safe on those roads with your latest traffic update. It's been reported that there's a stationary vehicle that is affecting traffic in Pretoria on the N1 southbound at the Proof Plus interchange coming from the N4. One of 4 lanes is blocked. A stationary vehicle is affecting traffic at Noordeweg on N1 northbound after Olifantsfontein Road ramp from Olifantsfontein Road R62. A section of the road is closed which may impact traffic flow. A stationary vehicle is movement in Randburg on N1 northbound Western Bypass after a ramp from Besnude Drive M5. A portion of the roadway is closed, possibly causing delays. That's all for your traffic. If you happen to be on the road, do make sure to share your traffic update using the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show or send us your voice note on 060-493-3226. It's 060-493-3226. Now let's get on with your epic morning show right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. Stay tuned. Do not go anywhere. 20 minutes past 7, and you are watching the Vooka Breakfast Show. It is your interesting and morning epic shows that we bring you right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. Located in the heart of Johannesburg, it is Soweto Dobsonville. That is where we are streaming live. A good morning to you. Yes, can't wait to have a fun-filled show with you today, because all you need to do is to stay tuned, because it is Wednesday. We know that it is filled with laughter. We bring comedians, especially on this day. Wednesdays
are for laughter. We know that laughter, it is the best medicine, man. In our country, we are going through a lot of things. So it is helpful to bring those guys here in the studio to share their journey with us, especially, man, comedic journeys, man, that we have never heard of. If you are watching right there from home, I would like to say a very good morning to you. How are you doing this morning? My name is Moketi Maimane, and I can't wait to be with you. You know, man, that we've got an insightful, comedic, and fun-filled show for you, starting with your news, sports, headlines. Of course, we started with your picture of the day. Talk to me, man. If you have ever been to Hector Peterson Museum, just let me know right there in the comment section. How did it feel? Or you want to go to the Hector Peterson Museum, all you need to do is ask us questions right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. We are happy to answer each and every question you ask us. But now, before we get into the things, it is very important to, give our viewers, man, a beautiful welcome right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show who are watching from home. And I see that people are joining, starting off with Tembimli right there on YouTube. A very good morning, team. Hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show, hashtag Sivugile, hashtag Mavuga Amahle. Hey! Beautiful things on this beautiful morning, of course, right here. And then Zinzi Elizabeth, hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. Good morning, Amavuga Amahle, hashtag Sivugile. What a beautiful sunny morning as we wrap up the month of April. Yeah, man, we know that we are closing off this beautiful month of April that brought us beautiful memories. We had our Easter holidays, and recently on Sunday, 27th of April, we celebrated Freedom Day, and it was very important to hear from you guys. What is a Freedom Day, and what does it mean to you? But now we are heading to another month, the 1st of May. And also May has its also significant memories and days that we need to celebrate. It's something that I'm going to get into. But we all know it's Workers' Day. And we know for the working class in South Africa, they are facing so many challenges. And those challenges, they require solutions. And now, how are we approaching those, challenges with the solutions that we have is something that we need to discuss. We want to know from you. If you are from a working class, just share with us what are some of the struggles that you struggle with. So, tell me, we are a happy, blessed Wednesday, family. Happy blessed Wednesday to everyone, man. It is, I would say we are in the middle of the week. It's a quarter past the weekend. We know that we are always, learning for the weekend. People can't wait for the weekend because the weekend brings us so much, of peaceful, moments, rest from week to week. I mean, some of us, we don't want to rest. We want to come on Saturday and Sunday and give you this epic morning, man. Imagine waking up on a Saturday morning, bringing you this wonderful breakfast show, man. It will be something, but I need to speak to my producers about that so that you guys can get used to Vooka each and every day of your lives, right? So I have Buhle Mngci. Good morning, team. Hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. Hashtag Massive. Tell them, Buhle, ukuthi isikhathi sokuvuka manje, because if you are sleeping, man, you're not doing the right things. You should be up by now because the sun is up. If you're getting up after the sun is out, you should be looking after yourself because now you're doing wrong things. When you wake up, the sun needs to come out so that you can experience that beautiful sunshine, because that's how we say the sun says hello to you. The sunshine speaks to you. It speaks to, how your day is going to be looking like. It's some of the things that we should be celebrating each and every day. And then Buhle comes back again and says, hashtag rise and shine. Rising and shining, things that we are supposed to be doing each and every day of our lives. Some people, they don't want to rise, they don't want to shine. With that little light that you have and that God gave you, you need to make sure that you shine shine as bright as you can. Shine bright like a diamond, right? And then TK1990, good morning. Hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. We are here. Sivogile. Yeah. I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. Keep those comments coming. Refilo Rasekhanzo, hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show, hashtag Amavuka Mahle, hashtag Sivugile. We are entering my birthday month. Yes, man. We are going to celebrate your birthday with you right here. We are going to help you, sing for you, just to show you off, how much of a person you are important to us, man. So there are a lot of things, man. There are a lot of things that we needed to discuss. But of course, when we're speaking of discussing things, we know that we also touch on the things that include public matters, matters that me and you, we need to discuss right here, because this is a platform of doing so. And doing so, it's going to get to the right people. And this information is going to get to the right hands. If you have anything you want to say, don't worry, speak to us. We have had a conversation with one of the people that you guys complain about. I mean, I do complain about. We got to sit down with the MEC, just to tell us about, guys, what is going on, with our country, what is going on in certain departments. What are you guys doing? Are you guys having solutions to fix some of the things that, citizens and community members are complaining about? We know that your complaint matter and they need you to complain. These platforms are here for you guys to complain so that these matters can be taken into consideration. Then solution can be brought forward. Then we're going to report to you that thing that you complain about, we spoke to MEC, we spoke to the councillor, and the councillor is working on it. Right? So today our spotlight is on the working class, guys. Right. So in our news recently, we heard about rising of living costs and also strike. People are going out. They are going to march. They're going on strikes because now the cost of living is too high for most of the people and they can't keep up. And when the cost of living is raising, people are not getting salary, raises. So it is strikes as a very huge problem. And that brings us to today's main discussion, man, because the ENCA report this week put a spotlight on the plight of the working class in South Africa. We want to talk about the struggles that are facing everyday workers in Mzansi. If you are a working class in Mzansi and you are facing struggles, talk to me. What are some of the struggles that you are facing? What are some of the struggles that we can take as the Vooka Breakfast Show and report them, man, to our ministers and report them to our MECs, our councillors, so that you can get help? Because we know that a lot of people, they don't know which channels to go through so that they can report these kind of matters, right? So, we want to talk about the struggle facing everyday workers. Many of us have family or friends working long hours for low pay or coping with power cuts and unemployment. South Africa still battles high inequality and poverty. Around a third of South Africans are officially unemployed, and even many who have jobs see wages barely keeping pace with inflation, man. What does it feel like to be part of the working class in our country right now? Let's talk. If you're joining the chat right now, all you need to do, man, just greet us in the name of the Vooka Nation, the Vooka family, the hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. And now we have to have a conversation. We know most of you guys have children and you're working for your kids right there at home. What are some of the struggles that you are facing, man? So what does it feel like to be part of the working class in our country right now? Is it a good thing? Are you guys getting all the benefits that you need to get? Or when they speak about proposing, the VAT hike, increasing the VAT to 15.5%, did they promise you in your company that your salary also is going to be part of those increases that are taking place? Because now it is scrapped. That 15.5%, it was scrapped. And it spoke to it again getting to 16%, raising or increasing with another 0.5 0.5 percentage next year on the 1st of May. We are going to be sitting at 16% of VAT. So just tell me, did your company where you're working, they promised you that when the VAT increases, we are going to increase your salary? Because it's some of the things that we are not hearing about in our day-to-day discussion. Social media, we know we spend a lot of time on social media, but we've never heard people saying, you know what, my company proposed that salaries are going to increase, so that we can have better lifestyles and keep up with this rise cost of living, man. So another Workers' Day is coming up, but the working class has little to celebrate while straining under the weight of economic pressures. Commemoration of this important date are the norm, but are leaders doing little other than paying lip service with hollow speeches? Right, it's some of the things that we need to talk about. So let me give you some of the points that me and you we can speak about. It's called the discussion points, because that is what we are here. This is the discussion table. This is where we talk with you, we communicate with you. And please do make sure that you leave your comment. We are live on Facebook. We are also live on YouTube. All you need to do, if you want to call me in and tell me that, you know what, Mo, this is a daily struggle that I face as somebody who is from a working class, who is waking up each and every morning as early as 3:30, 4 o'clock, going to work. These are some of the struggles that I face. The number to do that is 060-4933-226, 060-4933-226. Let us talk. So let me hit you with some of the, discussion points that we need to discuss here. So think about domestic worker, the taxi driver, or the cashier. What challenges do they, tell us about life in 2025? We know basics like transport, food, and school fees keep getting more expensive. How do workers make ends meet? Some of the people, they spend their money only on transport, like the salary. All of the salary ends up going to transport only. And it is very bad. It is a very bad, for someone to be coming and say, I take home 450 or 300 rands for groceries, and I have 2 kids. I have to pay electricity. I have to buy necessities, cosmetics for people to bath. We have to buy water. So it's some of the things that we keep on hearing. People are complaining about. And as our constitution speaks about, the minimum wage that each and every South African need to have, which is above 3,500, some of the people are getting less than that. It's some of the things that we need to speak about. It's some of the things that people struggle to speak about. Because if the taxi says the taxi is no longer 15 rand, guys, from tomorrow the taxi is going up and it's going to be 30 rands. And my salary is not increasing on that. Because now, the bosses, they don't really care about that. The bosses care about you coming and showing up for work and making the money for the company. People are struggling to make ends meet with the economy that we are. So, when it comes to systematic issues, economists point out that decades after apartheid, wealth isn't shared fairly. Many workers rely on a single job for their whole family's income. When unions strike for higher pay, the headlines say one thing, but on the ground, families face real hardships. Listen to some of the things that we're hearing, man. Because until today, yes, we are celebrating 31 years of democracy, but is it really, really the democracy that we signed up for? Is it, what we always cried about when we wake up in the morning? You would hear, your mother, your father, your brother, complaining about how some of the things that we can't get them in the house, right? So it's some of the things that we need to speak about. So right there on my comment section, I have Tembi Mni Are Hashtag good morning to our Mr. Mo. Good morning to everyone. Good morning once again, Mr. Tembi. I hope you guys are having a fantastic morning right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, because we are discussing some of the most important things that, include our day-to-day life challenges, which is, if you are a working class, tell me, man, what are some of the challenges that you face? And then TC Gamazibugo Shabalala are hashtag Sivule Uvulani. No, it's hashtag Sivugile. TC, where are you working? You've been here, I don't know how many times, way before this company was founded. But are you still typing these things? Come on, man. Which working class do you belong to? Yeah. And then Zinzi Elizabeth coming in are the challenges of being an employee with the cost of living being significantly higher is that when one gets paid, the most you can have your salary remain in your account is 2 to 3 days. Wow. Whew, that's heavy. I mean, that's heavy, man, because when you get paid, they tell you, man, that this is your monthly payment. But now, getting reports that your salary remain in your account to 2 to 3 days, it's bad. That's a sign and a call, for solution. Yes, we know that the government needs to do something. And one of those things that the government needs to do is to cut so many departments that they have created. Now they're going to have Department of Chairs, the Minister of Chairs. That is where we are going in this country. Every time there's a minister that is put on in the cabinet, in the parliament, and obviously that department, it needs its own MPs, the members of parliament that are going to be representatives, so that if you are complaining about a chair, you need to speak to the MEC. The MEC is now going to, put the message to the government. The councillor. The councillor also have their own executives. The message, like it's a chain. It's a chain that keeps on adding and adding. And those people, obviously, they also get money. They also get money that you and I are supposed to be getting. I mean, a salary should last you at least 20 days. I think that's how your salary should maintain you, with the cost of living. And then TC Gamazibugo Shabalala comes and say, I remember growing up, my mother would wake up 3 a.m. every day to go to work in another woman's house. And today, she's ill with all sorts of things because she wanted what she thought was freedom for us. That is the freedom today we are celebrating. And yesterday we were speaking, about the approaches and looking freedom in different angles. Yes, I might mention that we are free in terms of expressing ourselves. We can say anything we want in our social media. We have rights that can protect us everywhere we go. But speaking of economic freedom is what we are still struggling with. Our South Africa is still behind when it comes to economic freedom, in which what is most of the people want. That's why we have the EFF. I mean, economic freedom, what does it give you? You might be asking yourself, Mo, do we say when I get, when I become economically free, I get all the money that I want? No, but the agency of people to make economic decisions, that means we are allowed to make decisions on where the economy should go. If the president says we want to invite this country to come and invest in this, then we can say, okay, Mr. President, before we do that, can you please build more factories for us and manufacture for us so that people can get, stable jobs so that they can earn a living, right? And they can also support their families. The key ingredients such as personal choice, voluntary exchange, freedom to compete in markets, and protection of persons and property. Enabling individuals to control their labor and property, make choices that fuel innovation, boost productivity, and improve personal well-being. There's so many components and elements that add up to the economic freedom that we want. But that is where we are right now in our country. This is what we are fighting for. And then TCR, lol, yay when I'm mo. It is a typo. How? Hashtag Sivugile. Vuga Nation, happy hump day. We are getting over that midweek hump, halfway to the weekend, baby. That's the energy that I'm looking for, man. That is the energy that I am looking for. And also, let's speak, man. Let's speak. Because right now, the question is, if you just joined the conversation, what does it feel like to be part of the working class in our country right now? For most of the people who wake up, some of you right now, you are on the road to work. You know, you're going to work or you're preparing for work. You are off today, you've taken a leave. This is the time to share with us so that so many people can learn. People like me, you know, can learn about how it feels. And we don't take these things for granted. I mean, we've had so many people complaining and we've taken their complaints for granted, right? So in terms of, we need to also provide, you know, what we call the real hardship stories. Like people can come in because thank you to Zinzi, thank you to TC for sharing, man. If you have any story that you want to share with us right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, just comment down below. Or also you can send your voice note on 060-493-3226. It's 060-493-3226. So we need to be honest, guys. It's not an easy life out there for many of the people because as we discuss some of, you know, these elements, it speaks to how we want to move on and find solutions for our country. So as we discuss these issues post-Freedom Day, we need to ask, what freedom do working people still lack? What freedoms do working people still lack? Is it the freedom to earn though? Wow, it's a very good question, man. Is it freedom to earn? You're living in this country and you are a citizen. You know, you have an ID, a document that confirms that you are a South African citizen. Is it now have to be in the freedom right for you to earn, or you need to earn because you are a citizen? Yes, some of the people, when they apply for a social relief grant, the SRD grant, a distress grant, all you need to do is you put your ID number, which is the number that you use that confirms that you're a South African citizen, and you can get some of that money, right? So to take care of your families without worry, how can we as a society lift the working class up so they feel those freedoms too? I mean, we need to feel the freedom, man. A lot of people need to wake up and feel like, you know what, I'm in a free country. I am practicing, and the leaders of the past, they have fought for the freedom that I have today. So I am happy to go to work and bring on, you know, the expression of the freedom that we have. Because when I go to work, I'm going to earn the money that is going to sustain me and my family. That is where we are, man. We want to hear from you. What changes would make the biggest difference to ordinary workers? Comment on YouTube and Facebook. The conversation, it does not only end here. We are going to be with you for the rest of the day. So we will read some of your thoughts as the show goes. Do not go anywhere because we are here. Connect with us on all our social media platforms. We want to make this a best day of our lives because we know that it is, you know, we are heading to May now, and May is specifically for people in the working class. And if you are in the working class and you're watching, just tell us about those challenges that you have right there. It is the Vooka Breakfast Show, and you're still with me, Moketi My Man, right here. Do not go anywhere. We're going to take a short break, and then when we come back, we're going to be looking into what do we have today in history and who are the celebrities who are growing up today right here in Mzansi, internationally, anywhere. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. This is your weather update. 13 minutes till we hit 8 o'clock on the dot. And at 8 o'clock, we are going to be bringing you Mrs. Risa Mula, speech therapist and an audiologist. For sure, you want to know more about what does a speech therapist do, audiologist do. And she also deal with the first, it's the speech therapist and audiologist in private practice. She worked in government for 8 years and now run 2 practices. The first practice is in Lens and the second practice is in Akon Park. She has a special interest in audiology, which includes hearing tests, hearing aid troubleshooting, and wax removal. A lot of us need to remove that wax because we can't hear clearly. So she will be here and teaching you on how to remove those wax right there in your ear. So you don't want to miss this conversation that we're going to be having with her, because when it comes to speech therapy, a lot of us, man, we can't put sentences, articulate ourselves in a manner that we want to. So she is here to help you. If you're watching, just make sure that you put your phone right there and ask any question that you need to ask in terms of speech and also in terms of hearing. We know that some of you bombard yourself with so much noise in your ears. So today we're going to be learning about maybe the frequency that you need to be controlling that much sound you put in your ear and so much that you are listening to. And when it comes to comedy, we're bringing you 2 comedians that are going to be joining us right here on this wonderful Wednesday morning epic show. Keketo Kensani Hutamo, he is a comedian, and also Kudakwashi, aka Georgia Kuda, is also a comedian. They will be joining us. So do make sure that you don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. But you know that our today's conversation is all about the working class, man. What challenges do you face if you are in the working class? Before the break, I promised you that we're going to be going through what happened, significantly in terms of what happened in history. But before I do that, let me go to my socials and see what are people saying. TC Komazibugo coming back and saying trying to generate generational wealth is also a struggle. We try to create jobs in township like Tepisong, trying to start businesses but unable to due to places like that being so badly serviced. Thank you so much for raising that, man. It's some of the things that we want to know. Because people are out there like, guys, jobs are available. You can get yourself in the working class. You can earn as much as you want. But when you hear things like those places and communities are not well serviced, it's some of the issues that we need to raise. But anyway, joining me right here is the one and only Afri Berry in this beautiful morning. A very good morning to you, and how are you doing, Afri?
Hey mom, okay, and you just got a killer headache. Ugila wano tswara ke tlhogo ne.
It happened.
O gara ke tlhogo ya baby, mar auna next. Also come fokol. That's the type of headache I have, and I've had it since yesterday, and today it's back again, and I'm like, God, please, can this headache go away too, please?
Hey, man, speedy recovery to you, man, because one thing about headaches, man, they lead to so many things, So we hope that she recovers, and of course, man, when it comes to the daily dose of positivity, this headache is going to go away, right? It is the Vooka Breakfast Show, man, bringing you each and every exciting moment that you do not need to miss. So, when it comes to today in history, let me share some of the things. And all you need to do, man, is to talk with me, man, on my socials that, hey, man, some of those things, I know them and I've studied them by doing history in school. Right? So all you need to do is to connect with us on our social media platforms. Do make sure that you can also send your voice note on 0604933226, 0604933226. So today, starting with the first one, in 1952, Mr. Potato Head became the first toy advertised on television. Hasbro began selling Mr. Potato Head in 1952 on April 30th of that year. Company and potato alike made history when the product became the very first toy to be advertised on television. Very, very interesting. 1789, the next one. In 1789, George Washington was inaugurated as the first president of the United States. The first inauguration of George Washington as the first president of the United States was held on Thursday, April 30th, 1789, on the balcony of the Federal Hall in New York City. The inauguration was held nearly 2 months after the beginning of the first 4-year term of George Washington as president. Chancellor of New York, Robert Livingston, administered the presidential oath of office. With this inauguration, the executive branch of the United States government officially began operation, and new frame of the government established by the 1787 Constitution. The inauguration of John Adams as vice president was on April 21st, 1789, when he assumed his duties as presiding officer of a United States Senate. This also remains the only scheduled inauguration to take place on a day that was neither January nor March. And then another one on what happened in history. In 1945, Adolf Hitler committed suicide in his underground bunker as World War II neared its end. On April 30, 1945, Adolf Hitler, the chancellor and dictator of the Nazi Germany, died by gunshot of the Fuhren bunker in Berlin as the Battle of Berlin and World War II neared their end. His wife of one day, Eva Braun, died alongside him by cyanide poisoning. Following Hitler's instruction, their bodies were burned in Reich Chancellery Garden. Conflicting Soviet reports and conspiracy theories about Hitler's death emerged. But dental remains matched to Hitler's confirmed his death, and West Germany issued a death certificate in 1956. Very, very interesting. That is what I have for you today in history. If you happen to know some of those, share them with me.
So I have some few todays in history, right?
Yeah.
In 1859, Charles Dickens's A Tale of Two Cities, as published in literary periodical all the year round weekly installments until November 26th.
Yeah.
And then today, oh yes, you already said that today in film. And then did you know about today?
Yeah.
The World Wide Web is first launched in the public domain by scene scientist Tom Berners-Lee, April 30th in 1989.
Wow. Very interesting, man. Some of the things that, a lot of us do not get up into. And one day you wake up, man, and you know some of these stuff. And surprisingly, it happens that you spend the rest of your life knowing that, hey, man, I learned this on the April 30th, man, that in this and this happened, and you share with so much people. That's how so much conversations, man, are created. But very interesting from those. But now, obviously, we need to be looking into, because when you look at those 1757, we also need to look where we are when it comes to the number of the days into the year. Do you have a calendar in your home? Do you have your calendar in, your phone? Do you always watch the calendar? Do you always notice how many days you are into the year, so that you can wake up and thank the Lord to say, wow, God, today is the 120th day of the year. Today it is the 120th of the year. And it's some of the things that we do not pay attention to. Yes, we know that we have so many challenges in our lives, but it is very important that 100 days, guys, it is a significant day to mark.
Well, I also have a fact about today.
Yeah.
So in 1888, Maradabad hailstorm. Hailstones allegedly as big as oranges killed 246 people and some 1,600 sheep and cattle in Moradabad, Uttar Pradesh in 1888.
Yeah. 1888, man. Listen to
Hailstorm
that,
killed
man.
cattle and people.
Wow. The days
nagana
of
kgomo ya
Noah.
gago bolaiwa ke letlapa hela le lo tswang ko legodimo.
I mean, it happens, man. It happens. I mean, there was a guy, Mr. Soli, shared that video of that guy who killed a cow with a hand. So nothing is
Impossible.
Wow. We're gonna show you the video. We're gonna show you the video.
Yeah, I'd like to see that one.
Exactly. But in terms of the numbers of the days that are remaining, we are 245 days left till we hit 365 on the dot and we head over to 2026. But we are patient with that. Enjoy your life as slowly as you can. We are not chasing anything here. Take each day as it goes. Right? We are left with 34 weeks. So do pay attention to your calendar, man. Cancel those days that you have passed. Because now when you're looking into the calendar, you're not sure which day to look into. You're not sure which month you need to look into. But it is very important to cancel the days that you have passed because we are looking into tomorrow. Right? And in terms of celebrating those days, we are going into celebrity birthdays, man. We know that you guys have your special and prominent people and high-profile people that you like to celebrate, that they played a role of being your idols, right? So let's look into who is growing up today when it comes to celebrities. Today, Travis Scott is growing up. April 30th, 1991. He's turning 34 years old. Interesting fact about him, his early career as a producer, his relationship with Kylie Jenner, and his influence on hip-hop and fashion. And I saw that he's coming this year, ne?
Yes, he's coming on the 11th of October at FNB Stadium. And it is also supposedly alleged that he'll also be part of the Hey Neighbor lineup, which Doja Cat will be headlining.
Yeah. Interesting, man. Interesting. What a way to be celebrating his birthday because it's still in the same year. He will be here, joining fellow South Africans and giving them those epic performances, man, from his albums and his latest releases. So, American rapper who has been signed to Epic Records and Kanye West, good music production, very good beats. He released his debut EP titled Owl Pharaoh in May 2013. It is the one and only Travis Scott. Happy birthday.
Oh,
Yes.
by the way, so Castlelight Unlocked did promise that they'll be managing the crowd, and nothing that happened in the previous Maximus tour where people ended up passing away because it was too much for the building to handle will happen this year.
Yeah.
So hopefully they're going to live up to the word and will not find anybody stumbling on top of anybody. And crowd control will literally be there.
Yeah, on the next birthday, we have a Lil TJ, born today, 2001. Age 24 years, he was initially more interested in being a singer than a rapper, and he ever spent a year in juvenile detention after being locked up for robbery charge. Ooh, hip-hop artist who began to make a name for himself as a teenager with the release of his single Resume. He went on to publish singles online called Ride For You, Brothers, New Flex, and Forever. Happy birthday to you, little TJ. Another one is Kunal Nayar. Born today, April 30th in 1981, turning 44 years old. Interesting fact about him, his family moved to the US and he only started acting in college to make friends. Wow. Indian actor of British origin who is best known as Rajesh Kuthrapali on the hit CBS series The Big Bang Theory. He is also the voice of Vijay on Sanjay and Craig. Happy birthday. Clarissa Lichman is the next one. Lichman. Yep. Birth year today, born in 1926, and of course, passed away January 27, 2021. She passed away at the age of 94 years. Interesting fact about her, she took piano lessons as a small child and participated in community theater as she was growing up. An actress who won over 7 Emmy Awards and played the role of her neighbor Phyllis Lindstrom on the Mary Tyler Moore Show. A very, very happy birthday to those people. Of course, every one of you celebrating today deserves a shout out too. It's your birthday. Let us help you to celebrate it.
So I also do have celebrity birthdays, right?
Yeah.
So forgive me if I butcher this name, but he also played the character Leonard on The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
His name is Johnny. I want to pronounce
Johnny
Galecki.
Tlecki. Johnny Tlecki.
Yeah, I hopefully. So he's turning 50 this year. Johnny Clegg is turning 50 this year, and he was well known for his character on The Big Bang Theory, Leonard, which ran for 12 seasons between 2007 and 2019. And the show was a hit and made Johnny one of the highest paid actors on television.
Yeah.
And then another birthday that we have is Kristen Dunst. Kristen Dunst is an American actress, and she is turning 43. Kristen Dunst began a career as a model, child, and actress at the age of 3. Nana's breakthrough came in 1994 when she starred as the child vampire Claudia in Interview with the Vampire. There's also a remake of this movie called Interview with the Vampire.
Yeah.
And she's also acted opposite Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt, earning a Golden Globe nomination at the age of 11.
Yeah.
As a child, Dunst had other notable roles in films like Little Women in 1994 and in Jumanji 1995. She transitioned to teen roles in the late 90s, including The Virgin Suicides in 1999, directed by Sofia Coppola. And then the other birthday that I have is Gail Gadot. Oh, sorry, Gail, if I'm butchering your name. So she's known for a very famous character of Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Yes, and she... Gail, Gadot. G-A-D-O-T.
G-O-T.
Yes, so she's famously known for her character in the DC superhero Wonder Woman on screen, appearing in Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice in 2016, before starring in Woman on Woman in 2017, directed by Patty Jenkins, opposite Chris Pine. And then she rose to fame after winning Miss Israel in 2004 and becoming a model. She moved into acting, landing a role in Fast and the Furious film franchise with the 4th film in the series Fast and the Furious in 2009. And she is turning 40 this year.
Very, very
She is my
interesting,
crush.
man. Happy birthday, man, to everyone. And of course, man, today, if you're growing up or you deserve a shout out to it, your birthday, drop a comment or message. We are happy to celebrate it here with you and sing a happy birthday to you live on the show. Yeah. Hooray, man. Birthdays are days that are very important for us to celebrate. And if your young ones, man, are growing up, do make sure, man, to make something little so that they can also remember and feel special, because we know it is a culture to celebrate your birthday. It can be as small as, buying a gift, going out and to eat lunch. So do make sure that you send us your voice note on 060-493-3226. It's 060-493-3226. Before we take a break and check on the whereabouts of our guest, which is a speech therapist and an audiologist, let me do this before I go to the break and go to the comment section and hear what do people say. Yeah, Tembi Mni saying, actually, what is Freedom Day? She asks. For me, and she also answers, for me is like any other day cause I never have freedom in life. Oh, very, very interesting, because we've asked that for you, what does a Freedom Day mean? And what significant role does it play? Thank you so much, Ms. Tembi, for answering that. And then she comes back and says, good morning to our Afriberry. Hoping this headache will go away, man.
It shall. It will vanish.
Yeah.
This headache, it's slowly going away. I won't let it stop me. It's not going to stop me from coming here and talking to you, Vooka, and obviously engaging with you. So, Mo, just before we head to a break, right?
Yeah.
As we know, tomorrow is Workers' Day. And then I have something that people can actually go and celebrate for Workers' Day. And it's called, okay, so it reads like this. Be sure to book your spot for this exciting event. An awesome experience awaits as Q7 and the team at, I'm going to read it out. IYX Africa connect Indigenous Sun Youth Ambassadors to local urban communities in a cultural site made possible by Rashid and El Dorado Park community. Go green, go clean. We love this. We love collaborations, and this one is going to be epic. Well done to to all involved in making this initiative possible. So if if tomorrow you're available to celebrate Workers' Day at the El Dorado Park community community Go Green, Go Clean, please be sure to go there and also celebrate Workers' Day with them and help to make the place and make our country a safer and much more clean environment to actually live in.
Yeah, very, very interesting. Interesting things right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. And also continuing with the comment right there on YouTube. Tembi coming back and say, I was impressed with your poem yesterday, Afriberry. Thank you so much. And it's good to hear that you guys stayed for that wonderful performance she gave.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. And then Bohosi Marcelo, you can say that again, Tembi. It was a great poem. So many admirers, so many people coming here with love, and we love it when you show love to us. And of course, that love we reciprocated back to you guys. So much love for you. Bohosi, good morning, Vooka family. Hope you are all awake and alive. Of course, we're here, man. We are here each and every morning. You won't miss a single epic moment of us. We are here with you. Stay tuned. Do not go anywhere, man. Vooka Breakfast Show. All right. As we were speaking about your birthdays, man, your shout outs, you can send them on our WhatsApp line 0604933226, 0604933226. And now we are looking into using those words to improve our everyday today vocabulary, right? Because I'm known as the butcher. I'm the butcher guy. I chop weights, I chop meat, I chop everything, I chop money. This is what I do. So we're going to be giving you your word of the day. And of course, man, just let us know how would you use it. Because what I'm going to do is to give you the word, spell it out, give you the meaning, and let me know how can you use the word right there at home. So our word for today is hell bent. Hell bent. Yes, that is the hell that you're thinking about. HELL, the bent, BENT.
I thought I was going to say BURNT.
Hell bent. And of course, man, you're asking yourself, man, Mo, what does hell bent mean? You know, are we bending hell or what? What does it mean? Because sometimes these words, they have their own paraphrases. You know, it can be an opposite word. It is a word, but it means something that is significant that you can use, right? So the meaning of the word is determined to achieve something at all costs. Determined to achieve something at all costs. Whatever it will take you, you are going to achieve it. That is our word for today. Hell bent. Right? So, for example, how I would use the word is that once I get married, oh man, I will go hell bent to save my marriage because I believe that marriage is the gift from God. So definitely I will go hell bent for my marriage. That's how I will use the word. Everybody, hell bent.
I am hell bent on making sure that each and every single episode that airs on Vooka Breakfast Show is one episode that you'll definitely keep on liking.
Yeah.
Till we reach our greatest mark.
Oh, wonderful, man. Wonderful. So let us know right there at home, man. How would you use the word hell bent? And of course, man, it means determined to achieve something at all cost. What is it that's one thing that you want to achieve at all costs. If you are a student, you are, going through school. If you are a kid, you're in grade 2, grade 3, you're watching us right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. What is it that you want to achieve at all costs? You want to encourage your parents to pay for the trip that you guys are going to at September, August. What is it that you want to do as a parent? What is it that you want to achieve at all costs? I mean, speaking with some of the things that you want to achieve this year, man. You're like, yo, you know what? With that trip to Europe, to Portugal, Mo, I'm going hell bent on that one. I'm saving all the money and nothing is going to stop me. Let me know right there on the comments how you will use that word. So while I'm giving you some time to process that word, as it means determined to achieve everything at all costs, I'm going to take a short break. And then when we come back, we look into what is trending on our social media. I mean, Aisha, McG has said some of the controversial things that spiked the internet, and people are still speaking about it. Even Mocha Love was like, yeah, we need to release a statement about this. So do not go anywhere, man. Stay tuned. Do not move. This is your weather update. A 14 minutes past 8. It is the time right now, and it is the beautiful Wednesday morning. The sun is out. It is shiny. What are you doing? If you are watching right now and you have that beautiful view of the sunlight outside and how the clouds are looking like, do you have a blue sky right there, or do you have the sun shining down on you? Please do make sure take a picture and send it to us. We're going to be displaying it for you live on your screen. All you need to do, take a picture and send it to 060-493-3226. 060-493-3226. You're still watching your energetic starter to the day, located in the heart of Johannesburg. It is Soweto, Dobsonville. That is where we are streaming live. Before the break, as I spoke to you when it comes to what is trending on our social media, we know, man, we wake up to things that are trending. But this one caught our eye as a nation. And we're asking ourselves, man, what is going on? Because to tell you, I don't want to approach this, in a manner of it is a joke, because there is sensitivity. It includes two people, highly prominent people that we watch and that we get up to in our everyday to day lives, right? Which includes Minnie Dlamini and McG. some of the comments that McG made about Minnie Dlamini that sparked controversy on social media. Right? So, in terms of social media lighting up with those comments, man, podcaster MacGyver, on April 27th, while we are thinking about Freedom Day and the respect in this new media age, McG has made a crude comment about Minnie's recent breakup, that there's got to be something wrong with her. Maybe her private part smells and something. And these misogynistic, right? Remarks and similar past comments about other women sparked outrage online. If you saw, that, just let me know what you think of it. Do you think McG should be cancelled? Because that's what people are saying. That no, man, this guy is taking things too far. But with that being said, other people are coming in defense of McG and say, no, man, Minnie once said something about McG and it almost ended up his career. So he also has a right to say bad things about her, So it's what we are getting into. It is as sensitive as it is, man, but it is very important to hear some of your guys' thoughts. I'm going to go through some of the stuff here, read everything, relevant information that I got from the sources. Everything that we're going to read here, it's not from us.
Please do.
It's from the sources that we have got, right? And then Bukhosi right there on YouTube coming saying, saying, come hell or high waters, I'm hell bent on making Vooka Breakfast Show the best breakfast show in Mozambique. Definitely, man, definitely. That is what the Vooka Breakfast Show is aspired to be and is right now, because this is our 51st episode. So we are coming in, man. When you reach 100, I am telling you, hell will break loose. Hell bent. Right? And then Bukhosi Marcelo are coming say, I'm going hell bent to watch all episodes of the Vooka Breakfast Show this year. Oh, man, it is good to hear that. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate your love, your support, man. And we make sure that each and every day we're going to be here for you and giving you all of the recent updates or all you need to know. Mm-hmm. Right? We are the Vooka Breakfast Show, man. So, yeah, man, McG made some remarks and on a podcast, they were discussing and he hit them through. Was like, you know what, man? Once again, Minnie is divorced, and Minnie was married to Brian, Dr. Brian Monaisa, right? So McG was like, she broke up with Itumeleng Khune. Now she's divorced to Dr. Brian. Something must be wrong with Minnie Dlamini.
Wait, but it's before even getting divorced to Dr. Brian, it's Mr. Jones first.
Yeah,
Quentin. Quentin Jones. Because she's divorced from Quentin Jones and Yenele Brian Nebajola.
Yeah.
Habanyala.
Yeah, but now McG, in his own words, let me share this with you so that we can just go through what the papers are saying here. So McG said, bro, I'm telling you, man, there's got to be something wrong with her. Maybe her private part smells or something. This happens, man. It happens, especially with hot girls. These words spoken by MacGyver, right? Let me highlight them for you. Sorry, he more said this, then you cancel me for no reason. Mm-hmm. McG says, bro, I'm telling you, man, there's got to be something wrong with her. Maybe her private part smells or something. This happens, man. It happens, especially with hot girls. This is what McG said on his popular podcast. And these words are more than just controversial. They're a reflection of deeply rooted societal norms that continue to undermine and objectify women, particularly in the media space. Right? So, I mean, people came in because I remember one guy, was like, you know what, guys, I think we need to stop watching McG because now it's getting out of hand. We have got into the internet and we've seen these guys, man, promoting toxic masculinity in social media, saying bad things about women. But we saw what McG's fans did, man. They came in numbers and they defended McG. So does that mean McG has a right to say these kind of things about people? Yes, many came and said things about McG, that McG is a beast, right? And now we feel like it's heading back to her. Now McG is using his platform. And not only that, some people are like, guys, stop watching McG. And McG was on 1 million something. And after that, the subscribers, they skyrocketed. Instead of going down, people subscribed more to McG. And what does it mean, man? I mean, in his comments, McG questions Minnie Dlamini's abilities to keep a man and makes a series of crude insinuations about her worth, value, and desirability. Through couched in the calf humor, his remarks carry assumptions and conclusions that are anything but harmless. And then Riz Ahmed once said, first you have stereotypes that will be the black drug dealer, the East Asian Kung Fu master, the Middle Eastern terrorist in true lies. Then you have stuff that takes place on culturally specific terrain but subverts assumption. McG, however, does not subvert stereotype. He reinforces them. So what McG says, people take, they reinforce it in society. And there's a child out there who's watching McG. And like, you know what? McG once said, hot girls, they have a smelling private parts. So now people are going to smell banababatu. Going around sniffing when if you're going to find that specific smell that you want, it's wrong. Yeah.
You know what? You know, when he says, as a woman, sorry if y'all gonna shine on me, but I've had this experience where I once went out, this girl, bruh, oh, she was fine. You know, them curls, flat stomach, nyash over there, but you would never go into the bathroom after her.
Hey, boy. Why?
Me just saying that says a lot.
I don't wanna know. I mean,
it says a lot. So it's a reference to what McG said, right? That in most cases they actually do. But then he was actually also wrong for saying that. The reason why I say that is that you never know. What if Uminu utampe O'Brien and keep his statement before me?
It's a big what if.
Yeah, it is. It's a big what if. Kota what if vele umkhiphi like umdampile qala. And then McG and then Brian and keep his statement and then also them breaking up. And people date and break up. What does that have to do with anybody's contara? Where does it even enter?
I mean, it's public. If you're coming and saying, hey guys, this is my, what do you call these rings that you get?
Promise rings, engagements. Yes. But either way, it doesn't even matter whether we come out and say, hey, mina na say jola wara wara what. We broke up. We are just like each and every single person. Good abanye abantu bakhona ukujona abantu abayi 5 in 1 year. I'm a relationship. I'm truly 5 guys in 1 year.
Yeah.
It could literally just be that. The fact that maybe just dating, it's not literally meant for her. It doesn't necessarily mean that there's also something wrong with her.
But I think McG is wrong. But many ones came, you know, what's this show? There's a sports show that played on 161. Hey, you know some of the things. like Minnie was presenting, bruh, you know.
Oh yes,
and,
Konje, she
yeah.
also almost got Lentole.
what, cancelled?
She also almost got cancelled because of a statement that she once said actually
Yeah.
on an interview or a channel, and then in the mic off and the mic was still on, and then they captured her voice while saying all of that.
But that one, it happened live. When,
Yes,
it's
she
a
was
sports
ordered
show.
to be cancelled.
So they spoke about Kune and then was like, oh, wow, is he still playing football, that guy? You know, I mean, it's this kind of thing,
Gaga.
right? It's these kind of things, man, that people do not forget. Yes, McG hit on her, and now this heat has sparked a lot of controversy. Now people are bringing in things that Minnie has said, right? But let us look at how they have now debunked this problem, because it is very important, man, to look at our society in general on some of the remarks that our prominent people are making. So we have what we call assumption one: the woman is the problem. The first and most glaring assumption is that Minnie Dlamini herself is the problem. This reflects a patriarchal worldview in which women are often expected to be peacekeepers in relationships, reliable, emotionally constant, and submissive. When a relationship fails, blame disproportionately falls on the woman, implying that her failure to please or comply justifies the the breakdown, right? This mindset reveals a deeper systemic issue in which women are viewed not as equal partners but as emotional labors. They are expected to carry the burden of harmony while men enjoy the privilege of detachment or dominance. McG, in his case, speaks from a place of entitlement as a beneficiary of a patriarchy. His commentary assumes that Dlamini's perceived failure to retain a partner is her own doing, ignoring the agency flaws or even abuse that might exist on either side. Viola Davis remarked, "The predator wants your silence. It feeds their power, entitlement, and they want it to feed your shame." In this instance, McGee's commentary feeds the very dynamic silencing and shaming under the guise of entertainment. Right? And then moving on, assumption 2, women are defined by their sexuality. The second assumption McGee makes is that Dlamini offers nothing more than her private parts, a vulgar euphemism for her sexuality. This not only objectifies her, but reduces her entire existence and worth to her sexual appeal. Georgina Campbell once has observed within media the way that women are portrayed, especially young women. This is often a lot of sexual objectifications and lads culture. These are all things that connect with domestic violence. The constant prioritization of women's sexual appearance over their talent, intellect, or character create a culture where women are not seen as full human beings. I mean, there's a lot here that we need to go through. There's a lot, because another one, local entertainment channel Moja Love publicly condemned McG. Their editor, Nonzwakazi Tekete, said his language is not just offensive, it is a damaging reinforcement. So I just want that, statement that Moja Love has released so that we can all read it, man. It's things that, we don't, yeah?
It is. Just because your relationship is all roses are red and you've been with the same person since you were literally struggling and starting up your career, and that person is stuck through you, and then you find a person who hasn't had that much luck, does not give you the right or to actually say what you just said. That's very wrong.
Yeah.
Just okay, naledi go maparetse ge a dula lo ena ge sharp fade. But why do you have to say such nasty comments? And to McGee's fiance, you as a fellow woman, how do you feel when your man sexually objectifies other women? How does that make you feel? Do you ever think that it may come a time where things go bad between the two of you, and then McGee's like, because it says a lot about also the female that you also keep by your side. If you as a man feel brave enough to go out and say such things, how does that make you feel? Especially for a man, you value your mother, Mekji. You love your mother. This is somebody's mother. As a son to your mother, and Mini as a mother to her son.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel? Discussing somebody's mother. Talking about somebody's mother's private parts. Does that make any sense to you? Is that okay to you as a guy who has a mother that you adore and you love very much? As a guy who has a wife who is also a mother to your son, how does that make you feel? It also raises questions on what kind of child are you going to raise? What kind of man is your son going to be? If you as a man, you have a young son that you're currently grooming and you're saying such things, no, man, this is very nasty, man. It's a very low blow for me. We know that you're like pretty controversial and you're very outspoken, but this one, why? It's a no-no.
Bohosi Marcelo on YouTube comes and say what McGee said. It's wrong, guys. We African guys, for goodness, and African guys learn to respect women at a very young age. Very profound ways. But now, let us get deeper into the Moja Love statement that they released. So, Moja Love released a statement on social media condemning the behavior of McGee for using offensive language towards women. McGee's persistent use of derogatory language towards women, reducing them to vulgar slurs and objectifying their bodies, it's not only offensive, it is a damaging reinforcement of gender-based disrespect. Such behavior has no place in society and media specifically, where voices should uplift, not degrade. Moja Love DSTV 157 as a platform is committed to fostering a respectful and inclusive environment. We refuse to stay silent. Misogyny on air doesn't only harm the individuals targeted, it perpetuates a toxic culture that normalizes the dehumanization of women. Yesterday, we took a firm stance against this conduct, and we will continue to challenge such a rhetoric whenever it arises. Media is designed to shape societal norms. With that influence comes to responsibility. To McGee and others who use their platform carelessly, accountability is not optional. We urge audiences and broadcasters alike to reject sexist vitriol and demand better. Respect isn't privilege, it's a right. The channel has also received flag for airing recent episode of the reality show. That's what I was about to say, man. Like Moja Love.
They're very controversial, They're very
Yo, I mean
hypocritical.
If you watch Isencane Lengane, you would understand, guys. Hore, what McGee said. Yo, it's way better. Come on, man. So, Isencane Lengane, the show is on its 7th season, which follows the lives of Siyacela Dlamuka and Thandom Somi, who married when they were teenagers. Sparked outrage amongst viewers, with many raising concerns about the couple's toxicity. According to Moja Love, Isencane Lengane is designed to contribute to the discourse of a gender-based violence and societal ills, with the aims of raising awareness and promoting positive change. Moja Love said they are committed to providing psychological support to affected members, including Thando, who was affected by the event depicted on the show, and would continue to offer support. It is important to note the show is a reality show which reflects, explores, and raises awareness and contributes to the discourse on gender-based violence and societal ills. The channel has, through many of its social justice programs, played a pivotal role in shaping discourse and contributing positively in society. I mean, come on, guys. Come on, man. Some of the things that Thando, Siyacela said to Thando, no, man. No, they're bad. Like what we've been exposed to, it's very, very bad. But But let us know what you think, man, with this Meg G, statement that he made about Minnie Dlamini. The next thing is Minnie responded and said, "My career has never been, will never be defined by my relationship status. I was Minnie before marriage, and I will be Minnie long after my divorce." Very beautiful words from
Amen
Minnie.
to that one.
For Minnie Dlamini to protect herself on that one. But yeah, just let us know, man, what you think on our social media platform. We are Vooka Breakfast Show on YouTube. We are live on Facebook also. And if you also want to join on TikTok, we are also live. Share the live, comment down below. We are here to read those comments for you. So, now, for the Mind Basket, we have a guest today who will explore the world of mind, sound, and speech. Let us please welcome Risa Muller, speech therapist, audiologist. She helps people of all ages with speech and hearing challenges. A super important topic. Hi, Risa. Thank you so much for joining us in the Vooka Breakfast Show. Can you confirm if you can hear me?
Hi, how are you? Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, sorry, we're not getting anything. Please repeat that. Can you please say something so that we can confirm if we can hear you?
Sure. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, for a
clearly.
minute I thought we were going deaf.
So
Thank you.
appropriate for this topic. Yeah.
Interesting. Thank you so much for taking your time to join us right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. And you will be with me, Mweketi, known as Mo, and Afri Berry right here. We can't wait to get into this exciting talk, to talk to you about the early childhood development and all that people need to know about what you're doing. So please, without waste any time, let's get into the conversation, man. You are a speech therapist and audiologist. Please take us through into what do being in that field has to offer, and how did you get into the field, man?
Okay, so I am duly qualified, meaning, like you mentioned, I'm a speech therapist and an audiologist. So I did a 4-year degree at Wits with two degrees combined. Currently, right now, it is a separate degree. So if you do want to study, you'd have to decide if you want to do speech therapy or audiology. It is offered at major universities. It is a tough program to get into just because of the small classes that they take. It's a very hands-on degree. So you have to be, willing to work with people, willing to put yourself out there, working in the government hospitals, clinics, schools. So that's the personality that you have to have. So someone that wants to help, give back, help individuals that need you the most when they have limited communication or hearing difficulties. Like I said, I have 2 degrees, which I'm really, really lucky to have, because I can do speech therapy and I can do audiology. I do love my audiology a bit more, but I am able to assist with both. Being a speech therapist and an audiologist allows me to work with a very, very big range of patients. So you would find us in your neonatal wards with babies that have feeding difficulties, moms that are unable to breastfeed and latch properly. We're doing hearing screenings in the wards. You would find us in multiple departments, in hospitals, in schools. We work with elderly individuals that have hearing loss, balance disorders. So the range of people we see is so broad. It's a very, very big range. But our aim is to improve communication. That's what a speech therapist will do, whether it be from a hearing point of view or from a speech point of view.
Very interesting, very interesting. Thank you so much for that information. And it is information that is going to be helpful for people who are watching right now and also listening. But now let us speak about, early, childhood. These things, do you develop them as you grow up, or it's something that you can be born with, be born with the challenges to hear and challenges to speak?
Okay, yes. So, excuse me, like I said, we see individuals from the time that they are small. So, early childhood development focuses on the early years of a child's life. So, the most important period, we call it, when neuroplasticity is happening, so the brain is constantly learning things, is between the ages of 0 to 3. So we try and target and promote early intervention in those 3 years because it's the most crucial period in a child's life. So a child could be born with a hearing loss. It could be genetically inherited. Their mom could have been sick during the pregnancy. There could have been trauma. There's a lot of factors which we call risk factors. That's why we want to do hearing screenings for any baby as soon as possible, so that if we pick up a hearing loss, we can start the process for hearing aids, cochlear implants, whatever the management may be, because we want the child to have access to sound in those first 3 years, because that's where the brain is learning the most information. So you could, that's why early intervention is so important. So even like for speech therapy, there could have been risk factors that affected the child's learning development in those 3 years. So mom is working, mom's really busy, child's at home with a nanny or a helper or granny, and granny's busy, or helper's busy, TV is on, the child is being stimulated by the TV and they're not actually playing. There is a lack of stimulation, so we may see language delays. We have seen cases where kids are so severely malnourished. There's lack of stimulation, whether it be from family, whether it be from schooling, and they're not having access to speech. And as they develop, they are not learning speech as much, so their brain is not absorbing that information, so they present with delays. So as soon as you, as a parent, a teacher, a grandparent, an aunt or an uncle, are concerned that there may be something happening, get help, seek intervention. You don't know where to go to your local clinic, go to a doctor, go to a nurse. Somebody will start that process, and you'll end up, possibly with a speech therapist. You may not end up with a speech therapist, but you may end up with a occupational therapist, and they'll send to us. So you want to start that early intervention process as soon as possible because of the brain development in those first 3 years.
Wow, thank you very much. Oh, hi. I'm Effie Berry, by the way. So I wanted to know, what assessment methods do you use to identify specific communication needs? Let's say maybe assessment the methods that a mother could probably use at home to identify whether their kid has communication needs or the speech needs.
Okay, so in the Road to Health book, every child is given a Road to Health book when they are born. Okay, that will check their development. There is a table in the Road to Health book. If I'm not mistaken, it may be on page 23, but it's the developmental chart table. That has all the development according to the child's age that the mums can use to monitor. If you feel like there is a delay and you're not sure about it, when you go for immunization, you can ask the nurses. They usually are quite clued up on the child's development, and they will refer you to your nearest speech therapist, either in your local clinic or at a government hospital closest to you. So often moms, they have this instinct, even grandparents have it, teachers will have it too, where they know something is going on, but they don't know 100% what's going on. So bring it up at a visit with any healthcare professional, and they can guide you. But if you are concerned, if you are worried, you've noticed that your 6-month-old is not really responding to their name, so you're banging toys, and the child is not reacting at all. Doors are banging, people are screaming, and there's no reaction from the child. It could be an early indication that the child is not hearing. Um, Also, because they're not hearing sound, they do not develop sound. So at 6 months old, they're not really making sounds. They're not even babbling. They're not going ba ba ba, ma ma ma. So there's nothing coming out. You'd have to do an assessment for them. But you would, as the mom or the grandparent, you would notice these things already. So when you go in for an assessment, the therapist will ask you, have you noticed this? Have you noticed that? Yes, no. What is your child doing? And I think often what parents and grandparents do, it's human nature. We compare kids to other kids. So, every child develops differently. We cannot say that they all are the same, but each child reaches milestones at around a similar age. So, at one, they're starting to say their first words. So, mama, papa. If your child is now 1 year, 6 months, and they haven't even said mama or papa, you as a mom, grandmom, caregiver, that instinct of, no, something is going on. My other child said this at this age. Or, the kids at the school are already speaking, but my child isn't. So, you start internally comparing it. It's human nature, but I think that's where the first step comes in, identifying it as the caregiver, and then taking the necessary steps to move on to a clinic or a hospital or a therapist to help you.
Very interesting. Thank you so much with that. So I just want to pass the mic to the audience right there. So they're asking a question on YouTube. So Bukhosi comes and asks and say, so if a child can't speak proper at the age of 3 years, does it mean he need to go for a speech therapy, or some children, develop after the age 3? Because he realized that the girl child can communicate earlier than a boy child.
So, like I said, those first 3 years are very, very important. So, even if you are slightly concerned that the child cannot speak properly or there's something going on, rather take for an assessment. You don't want to run the risk of leaving it and then your child falls further behind. Remember, when a child comes in for any sort of assessment to a speech therapist, we look at their ability to understand language and use language. So we're looking at the child holistically, the whole picture. That's what we need from the child. If the child even if there's a mild delay, the therapist can guide you of, this is what you can do to try and get the child back to where they're supposed to be. The assessment will even tell you, no, everything's fine. It may tell you everything's fine. Your child doesn't need speech therapy right now. But I wouldn't wait. I don't advise patients to wait and leave it and see what happens. Because at the end of the day, we usually see that the child either falls further behind or they come to us and then they're struggling with more things. So rather go for that assessment. There is myths. There are things where they say boys take longer than girls, but you don't want to leave it. Again, you don't want to leave it to chance. So I would suggest an assessment just to guide you as the caregiver or the parent to make sure, like, my child is slightly delayed or there's a very big delay. Do they need consistent speech therapy? Do they just need a few sessions so that the therapist can guide you? Maybe the therapist will suggest schooling to you, or the therapist will give you tips of how you can stimulate the child at home. So rather get the assessment.
Oh, thank you for that. And now I want us, to debunk the misconceptions that people have about hearing, and speech in general. But I want to start with hearing aid troubleshooting and wax removal, because some people believe that, wax is the oil that makes me hear. So why do I need to remove it? So can you please take us through that?
Sure. So, like you mentioned, the biggest myth around earwax is that it needs to be cleaned regularly or that your ears are dirty. Okay. Our earwax is a natural way of protecting, cleaning, moisturizing your ear canal. It traps dirt, dust, bugs from going deeper inside the ear. Okay. Wax naturally comes out on its own. So when we are talking, when we are chewing, when we are moving our head, different positions with gravity, naturally the wax will come out on its own. However, if you are someone that suffers with excessive wax buildup, so the wax is building up faster than it's coming out, then you need it to be removed by a professional, because then it can cause things like pain, it can block sound from going into your ear, discomfort. Some people will tell us that their ears are making a ringing noise, they're feeling dizzy. So you do want to ensure that your ears are clean, but having wax is not dirty. We just promote wax removal if you are someone that is suffering with any of the symptoms I mentioned, because you don't want to leave it and you cannot hear for a significant amount of time, because that's not, it's not comfortable. Patients will tell you when they come in, I can't hear, my ears are blocked, I'm struggling to hear my child talking next to me. But as soon as we remove the wax, they feel almost back to normal. So you don't have to clean your ears, but if you have excessive buildup, like I've said, book an appointment with an audiologist like myself or a doctor, and we will remove the wax safely. Please do not use earbuds. Okay? Earbuds are not actually called earbuds. So if you go to Clicks or Discam, if you look at them, it says cotton buds on them. But individuals have used them for the ears for years. So the name kind of became associated as an
Yes.
earbud. That's what happened. But it's actually a cotton bud. So if you are using a cotton bud, it's only meant to clean the outer part of the ear as well as behind. The rule of thumb is you do not put anything smaller than your elbow inside your ear canal. No keys, no matchsticks, no pens, no pins, nothing like that. Because you can push the wax deeper into the ear, which will cause those symptoms to get worse, or you can actually hurt your ear. Remember, your ear canal is very sensitive, it's a very thin layer of skin. And if you nick it by mistake, you can cause a cut in your ear canal, which can lead to an infection. So there's a lot of harm in doing that. I've actually had to pull out cotton buds from people's ears because it got stuck. Because you know when you put the cotton bud in and you twist and you twist and you twist, somebody twisted and they pulled it out, but they didn't realize that the cotton came out. And she just threw the stick away. And when she came to me, we removed a whole cotton bud from her ear because it got stuck embedded in the wax.
Now, I just
Yeah.
wish that my grandmother was listening so that she could hear that. Leave the hairpin alone. Stop
Yes,
cleaning your
you
ear with
have
the
a lot.
hairpin.
Nothing smaller than the elbow goes into the ear. If you want to clean it at home, if you are concerned that you have wax build up and you need to soften the wax, just go to a pharmacy and get a bottle of wax softeners. So the pharmacies know exactly what they are. They have different names, so they could be Ceramol or Waxol, but they are wax softeners specifically for the ear. If you can't get that, you can get a bottle of sweet oil. And if you are using those, you're going to follow the instructions on the packaging for the softness. But if you're using sweet oil, you're going to warm it slightly in the microwave or submerging the bottle in hot water so it gets warm. But it must be lukewarm. So please do not put boiling sweet oil in your ear. Test the temperature. You put a few drops in your ear. You sit up for about 10-15 minutes. Close your cotton roll and you go to sleep. You'll do this for about 3 or 4 nights a month. And then it will just keep the wax soft, so naturally it will come out on its own without getting hard and impacting the ear, causing hearing loss. But if you know that you have this problem, rather get it removed regularly, like a 6-month interval, to make sure that it doesn't build up to a point where your ears get blocked and you start experiencing discomfort.
Okay, so I see that you also have 8 years in public service, and you also switched to becoming a private practitioner in private practice. So I wanted to know what inspired you to make the transition, and is working in the private sector much more better compared to working in the public sector?
So I switched for personal reasons. I have 2 little boys and I was unable to manage the full-time load. So that was one of the reasons. But I also reached a point in my career where I think things just became monotonous for me personally. It's not like that for all, but I mean, 8 years is a long time, and I just felt stuck in the same space, and I needed a change. So I left. I worked at a government clinic in Lenasia. I worked at a government clinic in Zola, Discoveries, Orange Farm. So I worked quite a lot in the region. It was mainly based at Lenasia Clinic, and I left in March of 2023, if I'm not mistaken. And 2 months later, I decided to start private. So I really, truly enjoyed working in government. I think we always complain it's so busy. The waiting times are so long, clinics are so busy. There's so little therapists, understaffed. But I found the patients that I dealt with were just absolutely amazing. They were, even though they had to wait slightly longer, the motivation from moms that we used to run groups at the clinic. We had support groups, and I think that's what really kept me there for so long. That the patients, it was the patients that kept me long. We had issues with lack of equipment, resources, but government makes you think on your feet, makes you really adapt. You have to be flexible, smart, and if you're not getting what you need from government, you need to work around it and make it work for you. So I think that's why I really enjoyed government, and like I said, I left for personal reasons. Private practice is very different. You're managing your own time, which is what I needed. I needed that flexibility. The the workload is dependent on your patient base, but it's not as crazy as working in government, because in government we were working Monday to Friday, 7:30 until 4 every day. But with government, we weren't taking work home. Whatever was happening at the clinic was happening at the clinic. In private, a lot of it does come home naturally. I'm busy writing reports. I'm planning sessions a lot more than in government. So, I I think they both have their strengths. But I needed this change for myself, so that's why I left. It had nothing to do with the government or the clinics. I loved it. I loved my colleagues. I got to work with so many different professionals in government. I worked with occupational therapists, physiotherapists, dietitian, and right now, because I'm more audiology focused, I don't really work with those professionals anymore. But that skill of working with them has taught me how to pick up of if this person needs OT. Maybe a physio can help with certain things. So I learned their roles very well, not to take over their roles, but I've learned how to, refer my patients to them, guide my patients towards them. So yeah, I think that's what ultimately my personal decision was, just to leave government because of my kids. But I do miss it. But I enjoy private as well now.
Okay, thank you for that answer. So I wanted to know, so how can a mother who has a child that is stuttering, or a mother who has a child that does not have the correct speech usage and is going through speech therapy, help the child to develop their speech maybe a bit more faster, or make it a bit more better through even with his or her ongoing therapy sessions?
So when you come for speech therapy, often the speech therapist will guide the moms of what to do at home. Remember, whichever speech therapist you are seeing, whether it be once a week, twice a week, 4 times a week, it's only a 30-minute session. After that, the child still needs to be stimulated at home. So you are meant to be given a home program or something that you can do. It does depend on the child's age. So if you have a smaller child, often we'll tell the moms that you need to play with the child. They learn through play, but we give them tips of how to incorporate language into that play. So a lot of repetition, naming things, pointing to things when you are talking about things. Even if you're walking down the street, if your child is struggling with the names of certain transportation, or they're struggling to put 2 or 3 words together, we would tell them, we would guide the mom to say, okay, you are going to repeat and repeat and repeat. You are going to praise your child. So if your child says a new word, you positively praise them because kids like that positive praise. So it's very age dependent of what techniques to try, what you will try at home, but the therapist that you are seeing will guide you. We often work very closely with teachers as well. So we are going back and forth between teacher, mom, and myself. If there's a we often we surround their child. So all of us need to be on the same page of what needs to be done. When you see that there's a teacher involved, family involved, therapist involved, we often see a lot of progress with those children because everybody's on the same page and everyone's doing similar things.
So now let's talk about common issues when it comes to your patients. As someone who is in speech therapy and as an audiologist, what are the most common issues that you hear about when your patients come to you? And please tell us what people need to do. In terms when you have to address that.
Sure. So the first thing patients will tell us is, I didn't even know what a speech therapist and audiologist does. So there's a lack of awareness of who we are and the role we play. So I think that's why talks like this, putting it out there of what our role is in the community is really important, because as soon as a mom hears what a speech therapist and audiologist does, it kind of clicks. Oh, I should have won there. So that's the first thing that I often see. I don't do as much speech therapy anymore. I am more audio focused, like I've said. So when it comes to audiology, patients will tell us, I didn't know that I could do the testing. I didn't know that hearing aids were an option for me. Nobody mentioned it to me. So I think the issue comes with that lack of information on, the patients just not knowing who's there to help them. So I do a lot of promotion. So I'm very active on my social media platforms, just so that patients know what we do, what are our services, so they know where to come to, because they often will go untreated for years. Where somebody will come to you and in the clinic, it happened all the time. We'd have like a 80-year-old, 85-year-old, and they'd come to you and it's the first time that they're actually checking the hearing, and they have such a profound hearing loss, and they didn't know that we could target it or we could assess it earlier and then intervene earlier. So I think it's just that lack of knowledge of what's our role, and how we can help you as an individual.
Yeah. And now going to YouTube, there are some comments and questions from people. One of the people is Manele asking, what is the nice sensation when I rub my ear? Is there a name for it?
A nice sensation. There isn't a specific name for it. It's just a feeling that people feel. So they'll twist it or they'll pull it. It's just a very sensitive area. So the ear is quite sensitive. So when you are rubbing or tugging, or sometimes people will tell you they're putting the clip in the ear and it feels really nice. It's just because of the receptors in your ear that are being stimulated. So there isn't a specific word for it. It's just the sensory sensation that you have, basically.
Yeah. Hope that answers Banele's question. And then I have Bohosi saying, oh, I thought you can get assist only in hospital. I'm glad to hear that even our government clinics offer speech therapy and audiology.
Yes. So I think a lot of people are not aware of that, but there are many government clinics that offer speech therapy audiology services. So you'd have to find out from your local clinics where is the nearest CHC or clinic that has the speech therapist and audiologist. You may not find the therapist there every single day just because of staff rotating between clinics, but it is available to you. So it's not only hospitals, it's your clinics as well. And often in the clinics they do screenings there. So we used to be going to our local smaller clinics and doing screenings on the babies or the kids and then sending them to us for therapy. So it is there. Just check with the nurses, check with the matrons, if your clinic offers it, or if not, where you can go.
All right. And then Zinzi right there on YouTube ask, just curious on my side, if a child is autistic, do they attend the same speech therapy sessions to develop their speech as opposed to a child who is not autistic?
So whether your child is autistic or not, the goals will be different. So when the therapist does an assessment for the child, that like I said before, the therapist is looking at the child holistically. So we're looking at not just how the child is speaking, we're looking at how the child plays, how they interact, how they understand language, how they use language. So no two child the assessment may be similar, but no two children will present the same, whether the child has a diagnosis or not. Each child is different. But we gather information from that assessment to plan therapy specific to that child. So if your child is autistic, the goals of therapy may be different for a child who's coming in for stuttering because their needs are different. You understand? The needs are a bit different. But it's the same speech therapist that you'd come to me, for example. I read you and I have another child, but our goals are just different. Yeah.
Thank you for that. Before we let you go, another one that I want to ask you is, what is it that keeps you at night, man, in the field that you are? What is it that's something that you want to speak to us about, and that people who are listening and watching need to know about?
So I am, like I said, I'm a speech therapist and audiologist, but I love audiology. I love my audiology patients. I think that's what keeps me motivated and pushing. I'm leaning more towards that side, not much speech therapy any longer. I love that instant gratification. It's just amazing when you do the test and the person comes in and they so demotivated, disappointed, frustrated, alone, but you find out what's wrong and you get them the hearing aid, and as soon as you put that hearing aid on, you see that face light up.
Yeah.
And you see that you're no longer having to scream, and they look at you and they're like, are you talking normally? And I'm like, yes, I'm no longer screaming. And they cry, or they can converse normally with you. It's just amazing. Like yesterday I had a patient and we did her hearing aid fitting for her, and I asked her how, we did it a week before, and I asked her, how's it going? And she was so happy. She told me, I'm going to church again. I can hear my pastor speaking. It's no longer me sitting right in the front and struggling, or hitting my husband to tell me what's going on. I can actually hear what's going on. And she said even when she hears voice notes on her phone, before she'd have to put her phone like right here, and now she says she holds her phone, she gets her voice notes, and she can converse. She's social. So we often neglect, or we think that hearing loss is just about the ears. It's not. It plays a really, really important role in our personality. So often someone that has a hearing loss, you'd notice it. They don't really talk as much. They isolate. They sit in the corner. They just nod, or they say yes, yes, but they're not actually engaging. And for someone to lose their hearing, they often lose a part of themselves because they're no longer that person that they were before. They're no longer that social butterfly that they were. And now we're giving that back to them. And I absolutely love that. That's what drives me. My audiology patients and those hearing aids. When I give it to them, it's just amazing. It's nothing that I can describe. I think I'm trying to do a good job of it, but you have to be there to see that the face lighting up.
Yeah, that's very amazing. So just to read out some other comments on YouTube, we have a comment from Ziad Mohammed, and he's sending out a heart with like a cross in the middle there. I bet you know who Ziad is. And then we also... And then we also have another comment from Bukosi, and he's saying, hope to see you in Vooka Breakfast Show Career Day, which is coming up. And then we also have another comment from Kairon Jada, and he says he loves this. And another comment from Radzilani, and he says, thank you, Vooka, for bringing us people who educate us, because I love learning. I am learning a lot about speech therapy.
Wow, that's amazing. So yeah, thank you so much for having me. I've really, really enjoyed this. My details are all on you guys. I think you put it up. I've been seeing it come up a bit. if patients or individuals have any questions, they are more than welcome to send me a WhatsApp and I'll guide them. I'm not doing as much speech therapy as I used to, but I can guide them to therapists that may be able to help them. I can guide them towards local clinics if they need that. But I am an audiologist. That is what I am practicing as currently. So my details are there, whether it be for wax removal, hearing tests, hearing aids, hearing screening. Feel free to contact me and I can help and guide as much as possible.
All right. Just before we let you go, I have this other friend of mine, and I hope this will be helpful for him because he's someone who's loud when he speaks. Like when you are just in front of him, just a little bit distance from, but he's always loud. What's the problem with those people? He can hear from a distance. When I'm there, when I call him, he can hear me. But now he has this thing of being loud. Do we have, a condition for those people, or they're just like that?
It may just be his personality. Sometimes people are eccentric, where they just, they need to be the center of attention and they raise their voices when they talk. He could have, it's hard to say, but he could even have a slight hearing loss. That's why he's raising his voice slightly. I don't know his age or anything like that. So it may just be personality. If he's listening to lots of loud music with earphones also, sometimes, they can cause temporary difficulties and patients have to talk louder because they think they're talking at a normal level. So it's hard to say, 100%, but it could be personality, it could be hearing loss, either one.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that insightful conversation, and I'm sure our viewers, learned a lot about speech and hearing health today. We appreciate you spending your morning with us.
Thank you so much for having me, and I really want to know about this career day. So be in touch.
Yeah, thank you for spending time with us. Yes, that was the only one right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. I hope you guys learned a lot. All you need to know is to contact her. She spoke about where you can get her, even if you want to have an appointment with her on a social media platforms. So right now, what we're gonna do while you're still processing everything, because I'm glad that we were able to hear her throughout the conversation, man. A lot of people are having hearing problems here in the show, but it's something that we're going to speak about. Let's take a short break, and then when we come back, we're going to continue with our epic morning show right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. Don't go anywhere.
Hey family.
Hi, my name is Tisiga Mazibugo Shabalala.
My name is Muketi Maimane.
My name is Musi Miss.
My name is Ketsu Ketumgunu.
On the Vooka
Breakfast Show.
Every weekdays from 7 a.m.
to 10 a.m.
This is where we are going to have our topical discussion featuring various experts from different fields.
We're going to take care of you and it's going to be amazing, man. Right now I'm on the set of the Vooka Breakfast Show, brought to you by the Blink-On Network.
Do not forget to subscribe.
That's Vooka Breakfast Show on Facebook and all other social media platforms.
Vooka.
See you there.
Well, yeah, shopping blossom memory. Yes.
Wow.
Hey, but welcome back, Vooka Nations. Welcome back. I hope you guys enjoyed that amazing interview with our very own speech therapist and audiologist, Risa Mula. So right now, I come with an announcement that unfortunately our second comedian won't be able to make it because he unfortunately got hospitalized. He was actually feeling a bit under the weather and wanted to do an online interview, but unfortunately, due to his condition, he got hospitalized. And hopefully we'll probably have him next week if he's feeling good and he's out of the hospital and everything is all well. His name is Keke, so unfortunately got hospitalized. From us, the Vooka Breakfast Show team, we hope that you get better and that you end up feeling much more amazing and you get back to your old self. Sorry about that, Mavuka Matli.
Yeah, man. I mean, laughter is the best medicine. That's what they say. So he should laugh. He will be okay.
Maga crack my jokes, la pilot
Exactly. Crack some jokes drugs and you will be okay. But yeah, man, speedy recovery to him, because right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, we always encourage and are happy to see when people are in good health, man. We promote health. We can't force you. If you're not feeling well, we can't force you to come in here to spend your day with us. So hopefully he will be okay and will be joining us, because you know, man, what when it comes to Wednesdays, man, Wednesdays are for laughter. That is where everything that has to do with laughter, we are, going to debunk it for you and share some of the good memories. Still watching Vooka Breakfast Show. All you need to do is connect with us on our social media platforms. We have Vooka Breakfast Show on YouTube, Facebook. Now we are streaming live on TikTok, YouTube and Facebook. Most importantly, man, if you love TikTok, do make sure that you go there and stream there, because TikTok has the ability, if you want to do something, you can easily close the app and in the background you can still hear us, and you can also communicate with us right here on the Vooka Breakfast
maybe you
Show.
could even send us some of those TikTok challenges that you think Vooga could actually make. And I think it'll be a nice way to actually also engage and also converse with our listeners who are also now listening to us on TikTok. So if you have a challenge that you'd like to share with us and you would like for us to engage in, please let us know. Send us a message or send us a text to 0604933226. That's 0604933226, and we'll see if we can engage in that TikTok video with you, just to make it nice and fun.
Yeah, and speaking of sharing the picture of how your neighborhood is looking like in this beautiful sun shining weather, Zinzi Elizabeth came through and sent us a picture of those beautiful blue skies, and I hope that you can see the picture right here. Yeah, man, but another picture right here. This is another one that she shared, man. Look at those beautiful skies, man. Blue skies. Are they shining?
They are. Zinzi, when can I visit? Just for tea, nje. So we can watch the sunrise together. We'll just sit there and watch the sunrise.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So each and every day, man, we actually encourage you to share, your view with us, because we also have our view right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. We are in Dobsonville, by the way. And if, of course, you're outside Dobsonville, so way to outside the country, do make sure that you share that beautiful picture with us and say, hey, Vooka Nation, this is how my morning is looking like. This is what we love right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. Thank you so much, Zinzi, with that beautiful morning picture on how your side is looking like, man. And I know some of the people, they would love to share their images. And speaking of sharing images, I can see they're coming through. And one of the pictures is from the one and only TK. Oh, guys, I love seeing blue skies, man. As Musi will tell you that he hates coldness. But one thing that coldness brings, man, it's those blue skies, man. So let me share this picture with you. There we go. Look at that, man. Trees are wonderful. As Mbeki said, I am a president. I own the trees, the skies, the rivers. Look at that beautiful, scenic adventurement of what our country has to offer. So each and every morning, just make sure, man, when it is beautiful, sunny, or you will stand a chance. We want to open a competition of having a beautiful sunrise. I almost said sunset. Sunrise picture or video. Imagine if you can capture the sun rising. Come on, man. We are going to be, speaking and, introducing that new competition that you guys could stand a chance to win. And of course, man, when you win, we're going to do something nice for you. As we do picture of the day, we explore what South Africa has to offer with this beautiful attraction site that some of us have never ever traveled into. Right, so do make sure to keep those pictures coming in. The time right now, it's at 19 minutes past 9. It is running because at 10 o'clock, Siaivala. And then I saw there were some comments, man, that were from, for Miss Raisa right here. Semami coming in at hashtag Vooka Breakfast Show. Good morning, good people. Hashtag Sivugi. And then Hector Are, thank you for the information, guys. We learn every day. remember that information brings transformation in your life. So it is this kind of information that you need so that you can transform your life to become as better as you want it to be. And then Hector coming back at Bohosi, you listed being loud.
Hector ka re thuso tlhaloganya mo. O listile eng? Kae Hector?
But yeah, man, thank you so much for tuning in, guys, because it does not only end there. We're still going to have these conversations with our audiologists, with also our doctors, man, that are out there. We still need them because that information that they're carrying is information that we need and we can use on our day to day. So, of course, man, it's Wednesday. We deal with everything that has to be funny. And we don't disappoint, man, with funny things here. If we don't have comedians, we bring our own comedy show right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. So we've got some clips that we want to share with you just to have the laughter of what the internet brings from day to day basis. Right, let me play you the first clip, man, and see, man, what are people up to on the internet. So let me play this first video. It's captioned, "No way bro did that." Let's see, what did bro do? Right, wow. You're dead in the saloon, mfana. But I don't know what happened with yes. Let's see if the sound.
Emanyan, are they blowing their hair with an air pressure? Like what's what?
Yo,
Come on, what's going on there? Okabare stapler, the sounds. The sounds Okabare stapler.
Oh, so much embarrassment. That's so much embarrassment. I mean, come on, man. So much pressure just for removing smaller. Like you can see, Madala does not have hair, man. So he just went there to, just cut off that remaining hair that he has. So now, how the guy's removing the guy had afro. Ay, Bopela. These saloon guys, they always play with us, man. So another one, there we go. I watched it too many times. Let us watch it too many times and see what it has to offer, man. Come on, who's the sound now? wait, what's this? Oh, the gap. It makes sense why you would watch it too many times because when you get the joke, you see that when he bites the beggar.
Who said the party earlier gap
Come on. Wow, man. This is what the internet brings, man. And it's what people get up to, Now you're in McDonald's, and I'm thinking of someone who's prominent here in South Africa. The same way that same situation can happen to her. Yeah. So let's see, what do we have here? A guy is getting out of a car. So what should we expect in this one?
Hopping with the wrong leg, hopping with the injured leg instead of alimala. Oh, no. That one is a scam. No, man.
That's an example of if you can't make it, if you can fake it till you make it.
Like
you just
definitely
failed.
can't.
You just failed. At your first try, nje. Like, hey, my man, wrong food.
Me, I see everything. People at home, tell Hector ukuthi angiyeke. Mo, here's Hector on YouTube saying, "Oh, and Afribear, I'm going to get something to grow your hair back."
Wow. I wonder what that is, man. But yeah, our last video, guys, is restricted. It's restricted.
It's over.
You must be 18. Bruh, what do you mean I must be 18 years old? But yeah, man, that's what we have right here for you on the Vooka Breakfast Show. I don't know what does Hector mean, man. Oh, Afribeer, I'm going to get something to grow your hair back. Out of the blue, my friend.
I think it was basically reference to the first video.
Yeah. Oh.
Hector,
air pressure.
Hector, it's over between me and you, ne?
Yeah.
When you see me look the opposite direction, Hector, it's over.
Man, it's not good being dumped on the social. I mean, live. We're not talking about a pre-recording.
It's live, Hector. It's over. When you see me, look at the opposite direction.
I mean, Hector, you're gonna go hell bent with this one, man, for fighting, for the relationship with Afribeer. I mean, that's how he calls you, man.
And like Afribeer.
And then Zinzi coming back, not him hopping with the wrong foot. Aisha, sometimes it happens, man, when you want to fake something.
Wait. Which one of the Mni families had a moon boot? Was it Zinzi?
Yeah.
Zinzi, I hope you were hopping with the right foot.
At the
Because
hospital.
at the hospital. Because I just remembered you had a moon boot. So I hope you were hopping with the right foot and not the wrong one.
And the doctor's like, hi, Bosisi. Stop it. Tati panadu endlini. Why are you faking so much?
Yay.
I mean, it happens, man. For some people, you have your boss in your WhatsApp and you report getting sick, and then you forget to block them in your status. Whoa. Then silly things happen. Then you are caught. Right there in the blue. And then it shows the status viewed by your boss. You reported sick. How? All right. As we promised, man, that Wednesdays are for comedy. And I think the comedy that we will be looking for
Is on the go.
It's on the go. Kudakwashi is joining us right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. Hey, man, can I confirm if you can hear me and say something back so that I can confirm if we can hear you right here in the studio? Good morning, man. Where are you going, man?
Because you see, you're on the go like you're literally moving. I agree.
This man is marching.
You're marching.
You are marching. Hey, this is an interesting one. But anyway, man, you are live on the Vooka Breakfast Show. My name is Mweketi and Afribeer. We're going to be your host, man, and we can't wait to have this wonderful time with you. I mean, you are a comedian. It makes sense, man. I mean, we expect people to be at home and placing their phones on the couches. There you are. Yeah, man. Yes, definitely. You are correct. Because at 10 o'clock, that's where we say, enough with the breakfast. We are now going to eat inyama and togo. I mean, our lunch starts at 10 here. So, yeah, man, we welcome you right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. And, of course, our audience, that are watching live. Can you please tell us more about who is Kudakwashi?
Wait. Kudakwashi, are you doing a turn or you on a van? Because those turns are very sharp.
So what do you want to know about me?
What do we
want to know about me?
Okay, so I just want to read something so that our audience can get a glimpse of who we are talking to. So Kuda Gwashe, formerly known as George Kuda, is the most prominent kwere stand-up comedian, notorious for being an informal worker entrepreneur, which is a running theme in his comedy, phrased as a peace jobbing, calling himself the job fighter. He is a bona fide underground stand-up comedy legend of Shona ethnicity with a questionable migration status, who has performed in Oscar-nominated Hollywood movies, Netflix movies and series, and a basis of an indie movie on Viva Nation. Considered a comedic genius by his peers, his humor transverses subjects as much, if not more, than his delivery in languages, with his most current them of being a parent encapsulated in the phrase of raising Chengeto. He is joining us right here on the Vooka Break Fast Show. Hey man, you are a man of so many calibers. Take us through that, man.
That's a good word to use. Hey, for a election radio show, you don't expect to hear the word caliber. You know what I mean? On referring to somebody, you'd expect it to be used when there's like crime involved somewhere. Are we there?
Yeah, so right now I'm just going to ask you if it's possible for you maybe to find a comfortable position to sit down and and have this wonderful conversation.
You know what are the odds? I am actually looking for a comfortable fight.
Yeah.
And I have to apologize first and foremost, guys, that I was supposed to be on this last week. So what happens with peaceful take precedence? So I was recently doing Uber Eats as a delivery guy, and my bike kept breaking down. So this is why I'm even walking.
Yo,
I don't. Is it called Uber Eats if you deliver by foot?
your bike broke down.
Yeah, the bike broke down. My own personal bike broke down. The bike I hired broke down. So it's like it's one of those where I'm thinking maybe my ancestors don't want me to be on a bike. Or is it one of those that I deliver food to people but I can't afford it? I don't know.
So right now, your job is at halt, or you're continuing to deliver food?
I'm pivoting. I'm going to plaster.
Wow.
Like, plaster house. And so this job I got somewhere. Later do that, I don't know. So basically, the history of Kudakwashe is I'm originally from Zimbabwe. No, I was born there. I was born in Zimbabwe. But then, or is it original? I was born. Which one is it? Like,
before we start, you continue. Can you please put your phone on a portrait mode so that we can get a better view of you and make the experience of the audience who are at home get okay. that's okay.
It's better.
Yeah, it is.
So when you drop down that thing, when you look for your brightness on your phone, there's an option called auto rotate. You need to switch that option on and then turn your phone so that we can get a full screen.
You know, I actually know how to use this thing, but then because once you have been on a bike 1 time, 2 times, you don't know how to use other things. Because it's risky to use these apps when you're carrying somebody's McDonald's. And then when it's and you guys eat McDonald's, people eat McDonald's around a lot. McDonald's at night. KFC. KFC has put Malawans and Congolese in business for the past 4 years. I can't
Guda, do you mind maybe just, I don't know, finding a better, a better standing position? Because hey, we are kata. I don't know. Maybe you can just climb the tree there.
Let's look forward.
Yeah. I mean, you are known for your sharp humor, making light of everyday South African life. And thank you, man. Thank you, man, for joining us. As you were taking us through that you were born in Zimbabwe. Let me give it over to you and continue, my good sir.
So basically, the things that nobody chooses where they are born from and where they end up. So when I migrated this side, it's something when I discovered that stand-up comedy was actually a thing, a huge thing. You know what I mean? Like I saw, like when I went to the Blacks Only Festival, I was like, oh, you can actually be a pure stand-up comedian without being a comedian on TV, do sketches, without being Leon Schuster. So you can actually stand in front of people and say whatever you want to say, and as long as they laugh, they pay attention, and you can get away with anything, right? Because that's what we figured out what pastors do, what politicians do. The only thing is that they grab the attention using, like with pastors, they'll say, oh, somebody give me an amen. That's when you know that whatever joke. And then if it's a politician, when he says Amandla, anytime they say Amandla, they just know whatever punchline they do. What I mean. So that's when I started jumping on stage and then started just voicing my thoughts out. And 2 years down the line, 3 years down the line, I realized that it's not necessarily that I'm going to go back home where I was born in Zim, which is like a 2-3 language nation. And here it's like 11 languages. And I was like, oh, that would be interesting to see if my thoughts, if I express them, and if people laugh, which means they get what I'm trying to say, if they laugh in as many languages as possible, it means I'm not as crazy as I would think I am. And that's how I started stand-up. And 19 years down the line, yeah, this is probably my 19th year of doing stand-up. I evolved to now actually be able to call myself Kurakwashe. The name I was born with, it's a Shona name, and it's a Kwere name as much as you can think of.
What is it?
It's Shona. It actually means Tadelenkosi, but it's like, think about it. If you hear Kurakwashe, do you think this guy is closer? Would you think that?
No.
You think that's an Afrikaner guy, like that's a farmer. Nah, so it's a Shona thing. So the correct thing was an idea of say, it's not an offensive word per se unless if it's used offensive. Right, so it's a definition of somebody who's part of a tribe which we don't really grasp, but we can identify with the language.
Yeah, so I mean, it's very interesting hearing that you've been doing this for like 19 years, man. And I know that there are a lot of challenges that you have faced, in the industry itself. So I want you to walk us through some of the challenges that you've had as a comedian, like from the first time you've started. I mean, 19 years it's a lot of time, and those are a lot of work.
Sorry.
Yeah. So take us through.
Still, yes. The challenge. I think the challenge is actually it's an African context challenge. Right? It's an African context challenge to say how do we create art which can cross over millennia, like over centuries. Right. So back then, about 17 years ago, the industry was also just starting out. It was kind of established, but it was like so niche. Like my piano, how they were when they started out before they became this thing they are. Because obviously we need a couple of stars to pop out. So there came the era of after David Cow, the level of Blacks Only and Loiso Gola, and then they came Noah, who then put South Africa on the map and Africa on the map in general. So there was a rise to say, oh, stand-up is actually something which can go mainstream. So for me personally, as an artist, as an idea of to say, well, you can only become successful once. And sometimes it takes a lifetime to be an overnight success. So the challenges I'd say was there's not enough spaces for the artists to mold themselves, to actually come to a level where if you were to look at where my piano is now, because my piano is also from house music, from Kwaito, from back of the Chico Twala kind of music. So it's an amalgamation of a culture which has come from far. Whereas stand-up was something still very much new even within the African context, because even if I refer back home growing up, the comedians we would identify with were mainly comedic actors. If they're acting in a drama series or anything, we didn't really grasp the idea that as a person, as an individual, as you are, you're not playing a character, you can just stand in front of people and actually make them laugh. Like the guy you're seeing on stage is the guy you're seeing off stage. So it's something which was very, very new. And with the intro, Nakala with social media, where now even TikTok and Instagram and Facebook have become that you're taking that expression and you're just putting it online without the need of a live audience, is that even the evolution of the art form itself is getting much further than the pace where we are can catch up to. So if I were to say the struggles of the industry is basically there's not enough space for people actually to invent, to innovate. I don't know if I'm making sense here.
You are making total sense, and it's interesting that you are speaking about struggling to grasp what comedy means, because you are seeing these comedians in series and acting in those telenovelas, right? So yeah, so now you've overcome your challenges and you are here. What motivated you to keep on going? Why didn't you give up? Because now you see this thing is becoming difficult to grasp. What is it that motivated you to be here, and how did you overcome those challenges?
To say 17 years down the line, I'm here and I'm still like financially, career-wise in the same space. Well, what motivated me was it's the artistic part about it. To say, at some point you just need to do one album, right? Which lasts you a lifetime. Sometimes you just need to do a nkalankata. Sometimes all you need is a nkalankata, and you don't need to accuse people of chowing your food in your studio. Or you just need to do a nkalankata every time there's a rugby, they play your song and they're done. So for me, it was from an artistic perspective of to say, if we were to look at all the other international artists whom we follow the culture on how they become iconic or legendary, it took sacrifice. There is sacrifice. So you have to think of at what level do you want to sacrifice it for? Like, think how the evolution of hip hop in America, that now you don't need to get shot to become a star. But a lot of people had to die, right? Like right now, you don't need to be on drugs and having AIDS to become quite a star, like the old guys, right? So there's a certain sense of where you either wait the time out and be patient enough and age like fine wine or like whiskey and risk not ever getting tasted, or maybe the time you do, you would have changed yourself from being George Kuda to actually calling yourself Kuda Kwashe, combining both the persona on stage and the persona in real life. For instance, I'm taking a video in the bushes. Why? Because it's quieter, right? And if you see the network cuttings, people from the Peace Job asking how far I am, and then there's no way I'm going to tell them that I was in an interview. They'll be like, so why are you here? So there's that cross of art, which is weird, which any industry is difficult for it to grow, because artists are not necessary, really, if you really think about it. They're only necessary to human beings. It's only human beings who have artists. It's only human beings who've got that caveman, that bushman who was painting pictures in the cave. Mara, you know that guy bekalamba ngithi because abanye they were hunting, they were like, "Wena uphiza upenta lapho wena." So uzofuna ukuzodla la wena. Mara is the one who gets remembered, angithi.
Yeah.
So if you were to ask me what motivates me, I would say Jesus Christ. Not as a savior of my sins or anything, but as a guy who existed. My man, listen. This guy knew he was gonna die. He could have walked away from this thing. This guy was the son of God. He could have refused. But look at us, 2,000 years down the line, we're having long weekends because of him. So here's what motivates me, is to say at some point, being Kutakwashe gotta make sense, right?
Yes.
I have thought about today, the same you guys are now doing it. How are you doing a breakfast show online? What are you guys, a podcast, a radio? Nobody knows, right? But are you guys gonna pick it up forever? That's up to you to say how far it's gonna go. So I think whatever has to motivate anybody has to be sacrificed, to say, what are you willing to sacrifice? You gotta know what you want. I always say, what do you want? If you want to be rich, it's always easy. If you want to make money, we know how it is. Sell something easily and quickly. Banks do that. If you want to be rich actually in the world, the solution, don't say, oh, I want to be rich whilst you're doing a radio show and I'm saying I'm a stand-up and they're opening an app. No, become a bank. Just open a bank, because what do banks do? They sell money for what?
Save money. Yeah.
Money for money. Yeah. So do you want to make money? Go into banking. Become a machonista, bro. That's easy business. You can't be selling tomatoes and you say you want to be rich. No, you're going to have money. You can't be rich. So it's one of those, like, I would say, you got to ask yourself within, because if you look at what happened with lockdown, right, you could see who were the most essential people. We all saw who was essential. They were called essential workers. Everybody's dying. But these people were needed to function each and every day. And I want you to think about that. Uber drivers were that essential. Uber Eats drivers were much more essential than me being a stand-up comedian. How about that? So right now, Skudakwashe, you're not interviewing the comedian. You're interviewing an Uber Eats driver. Ask me about my job. What's wrong with the industry? How are we struggling? How do we fix it that we don't steal people's food, we don't crash, we don't have accidents? Now, let's talk about that. Because I'm quitting, right?
Wow.
So you've never had the urge to literally just take one fry or just miss a drumstick there by mistake?
Unfortunately, like I said, my role model is Jesus, right?
Yes.
And men cannot live on free ocean basket sushi. But by the punchlines, but the words and the punchlines we do on stage. I don't even see. But men cannot live on. Okay. Anyways.
So have you ever had a problem where you had to go deliver food but you're about to perform?
So it's something when I came back, when I evolved to become Kudakwashe, I was trying to balance the two. So it hasn't been okay. I think the one interesting time was one time I was passing through Craigo Park, right? And you know, one of those, like, after you deliver an order and then you're going to somewhere where you know they can request an order. Then I stopped for a smoke and I heard noise on a restaurant close by. And there was a performance, and I remember I walked up and Bongani Tuba was there. I was like, oh, you came in to perform. Are you jumping for 5? I'm like, no. I just actually came here to charge my phone and wait for orders.
Wow.
And they actually performed, and it was fun because I didn't have pressure to impress them, did I?
No, you didn't.
Actually, much more funnier and freer. And then an order came through, and I left.
Simple as that.
So it was a nice way to actually pass the time while you were waiting for orders.
So there's no such thing as passing the time. It's about how do you become productive in any space. Right? So more than anything else to say, I was trying to look for money for there. It's like the hard thing. I think the hard thing about any artist is how do you separate the person from the art? It's right. Like if it's like one of those like, okay, I do this. It's funny when I'm talking about that I do Uber Eats and I'm doing Peace Job and the humor is coming from there, but it means I have to be struggling, right?
Yeah.
That to come up with that material. It's like how I feel about Adele, that she gotta get her heart broken to give us fire songs. So which one is she joling fucked up for the fire songs? Or she's
Yeah.
or is she just that fucked up when the fire songs come out? Which one is it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Kanye West suck his cousin's dick for back then so that he could say do you understand?
Yeah.
Kudokasha language.
Line, you don't have the Broad Complaints Commission on your neck, do you?
Wow.
No, we don't.
I know all these jobs, man. Come on. If you want me to register you at the Broadcasting Complaints Commission, I can do that for you. I can deliver too.
So you're gonna deliver the documents to us?
Yes, I will apply and deliver the documents for us. But basically, the thing that is so for me to become Kudakwash was that I ended up having a kid. I ended up having a child. And lockdown happened, but then it destroyed something which everybody would have. There's a point where you are saying, oh, I would want to have a house like this, right? I want to have a gushesh, right? For me, one of those was to say, if I ever have to have a child, the parents have to be together, no matter whether they are happy or not. Just knowing that you have two people on your team who are always there. So it's something I'm still navigating because we are all conditioned in this period of, we separate, the father has to support the baby whilst the mother raised them. But I'm saying I also want to raise my child. Because supporting a child doesn't mean the child is going to be successful. It doesn't mean it's going to reach out to their potential.
Amen.
Look
to
at
that
Kaiser
one.
Chiefs. Kaiser Chiefs. So many supporters, but nobody's raising.
Kaiser Chiefs, yeah.
But so many, but nobody's raising it. Is it successful? You know what I mean?
I think you heard some people here in the studio with that comment.
It's not my fault that they have to do their own trauma and they have to go to therapy. Do not worry. The Kaiser Chief policy is gonna come with a therapy.
Wow.
Actually, a business proposal I wrote and I submitted again to them to say, peace job is a peace job. When I do something, I do something. I was like, don't just offer funeral policy because you're already killing them. Try to save your supporters too. Offer a therapy session. For 20 rand a month, if Kaiser Chiefs loses, you get like 3 free sessions with a can.
Yeah, I can attest to that, man.
Right. So I don't know. So raising Chengeto is the idea of to say, how do we get to the future where you're not gonna be there? So it comes from the idea of to say, I just want to say my comedy lasts more than my own existence.
Yeah, but now let's speak about you as Kudakwashi, man. What is it that you are planning on? You know, are you working on something? Because we see right here you have, been in some of the Hollywood movies, as they, stated here that you have performed in Oscar-nominated Hollywood movies, Netflix movies, and series, and the basis of indie movie on Viva Nation. So what's next for Kudakwashi, man?
All right, so firstly, there's a show I'm part of organizing, which we hope it becomes a regular show, regular stand-up comedy show in Joburg. It's gonna be. I'll share the information with you guys later once the poster is out today. It's gonna be every Thursday at Victory Theatre in Orange Grove. Comedy on Us. The other things that I'm part of a movie which is coming out in cinemas. directed by Karabo Ledeja, Sabbatical. It's coming out next week, I think Friday. That's released in cinemas. And as Kurakwashe, more or less, since I've been back, working on a special which I want to take on the road, like a church.
Is the special from Nando's or KFC?
Yeah. I understand why these guys are chief supporters in the studio get not this man. But anyway, so it's just basically like I have to evolve and then rebrand. So I have to combine who being George Kuda is and being Kuda Kwasha is and being Baba Chengeto is and try to make it become one thing and manage the depression from it.
Yeah. So, as a comedian, you talk about serious topics, and one of the questions that we need to ask before we go is, how do you see comedy serving as a form of social relief for these young ones who are growing up?
Like, you mean for them to perform or as a product for them?
Yeah, as a product for them.
So there we can't look at comedy alone. We have to look at the whole out in itself. Like, it's easy to talk about performers, but think about your painters, think about your writers, your sculptors.
Yeah.
These things are things which inspire us, even our bedtimes. Like, if you understand where art is powerful for human beings, look at one of the biggest assets rich people buy, it's art.
Yeah.
So if we have to look at it like it's, we have to look at it as the whole artistic thing, that it can't just be I'm a piano. Right? Where's the you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how do we create an environment within ourselves that it's easy who's are there to get a Mr. T, but where's the closest cinema I can go watch a movie?
Hey, it seems like people are waiting for their food. The phone just keeps on vibrating.
No, it's, guys, for the other show, I'm not doing food. I'm in the bushes.
Yeah, man. So right now you see the comedy, spaces. What's your take on modern comedy, man? What's your take with the likes of these big names, your Trevor Noah, your Pops in the space? What's your take on that?
Have you ever watched Marvel?
Ever watched what?
He's stuck, man. I think you meant to say have you ever watched Marvel movies?
Yeah,
So he
MCU.
was- yeah.
It's a definite yes.
So yeah, you can see with the facial expression, right? If you're watching, it's Marvel. Right, yeah, we're still waiting for his network to kick back in, and then we, they're going to let us know that if he is back to continue with us right here. But yeah, if you just joined and you're watching this live interview right now on the Vooka Breakfast Show, you might be asking yourself, who's that man who just froze on your screen? His name is Kuda Kwashe, formerly known as George Kuda, and he is the most prominent Kwere stand-up comedian. Notorious for being an informal worker entrepreneur, which is a running theme in his comedy phrased as peace jobbing. Calling himself the job father, he is a bona fide underground stand-up comedy legend of Shona ethnicity with questionable migration status, who has performed in Oscar-nominated Hollywood movies, Netflix movies, and series, and the basis of an indie movie on Viva Nation. Considered a comedic genius by his peers, his humor transverses a subject as much, if not more, than his delivery in his languages. With his most current of them being a parent encapsulated in the phrase "raising Chengeto." he is the guest that we have today. But I think that network seems to be failing him to come back. Right now, the time is 1 minute until we hit 10 o'clock. What we're going to do right now is to, tell him that we have lost him on the line, because this is where we conclude our show. But in terms of where you can find him, if you want to book him or follow him on his social media pages, we're gonna make sure that we share that with you. So do make sure that you stay updated on our social media pages. We are Vooka Breakfast Show. But all in all, man, thank you so much for being with us right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show. It was nice being with you, engaging with you throughout. Thank you so much if you have stayed until here. It was nice being with you. And it does not only end here, man. It is a beautiful Wednesday morning. And tomorrow morning, we're coming back again, man. It's Thursday. We're aligning ourselves with what we call a spiritual alignment Thursdays. Surely we're going to have someone, or we're going to share something with you. And if you would like to share something with us, there, the stage is open to everyone to come in. And thank you so much for sharing those beautiful pictures. And if you did not share your picture tomorrow morning, please share that beautiful sunrise, if there is going to be any sunlight tomorrow. Share your pictures on 0604933226, 0604933226. I see Hector Takalani here saying, this guy. I mean, this is what we bring you right here on the Vooka Breakfast Show, my brother. We are not going to disappoint you. Interview people while they're working, right? It is the power of technology, the power of connecting with everyone who is out there and bringing them live to your devices. Ave Berry, any last words, man?
All I have to say is I hope that everybody enjoys their Wednesday and it becomes fabulous, and that you're all filled with love and affection that you all need. But for me, Afroberry, also known as Miss Berry Blaze, but to the darker the berry, the sweeter than dun dun. Imnandi mamnyama mamhlopilek teka pot marloko famanama weta ikoma kahle. Iso ngwana mane.
Yeah, and from me, Moketi Maimane, aka Max for maximum temperature, Jose Namotlakase, Reberekisa Generator. I'm the son of the one and only Mother Nature. Sayonara. See you tomorrow. Stay safe. Take care of yourself. We love you as the Vooka team, and take care of yourself once again. Bye bye.